And yeah, I'm honestly enjoying life, man. How about
Yeah.
you?
Been grinding the season. It's been better. It's happening better and better every day, and every week. I am trying to improve, but yeah, a lot of work, a lot of stuff outside, and yeah, it's nice to have. This is the first international break
How about
that
you?
I'm really enjoying. To be fair, it's yeah, it's strange, but yeah, it's the first one that I really do enjoy.
Nice. Nice. How is your FPL season going?
It's improved, not with the speed that I wanted, but good enough. Let's say it's been better for sure. And after the wild card that we built together, yeah, it has some issues, but we're going to go through them at the end. Oh no, it's been a much better performance. If I can nail down my captain week in and week out, I think I'm sorted. But yeah, it's been hard fighting against Haaland, to be fair.
Yeah, Holland's off to an incredible season. Like
Yeah,
if we look at his data from last year, I think just like since he's come to Man City, he's been averaging around 0.7 XGI per 90 non-10 XG plus XA. So I think last season it was zero point 0.7. The year before that it was 0.96, and the year before that it was 0.92. So that's like his XG plus XA combined non-pen per 90. This year he's actually at 1.1,
yeah.
which is just ridiculous. Like he's hitting like a different level we haven't seen before.
Yeah, exactly. It's I have no words. I didn't expect this, but yeah, I am really surprised with the level that he's reaching, especially with a lot of new people around the team, with Cherky, with Reinders. I thought that it's going to take some time to adjust it, but he has been the reason why they're in the title contention at the moment, in my eyes. We have our first viewer. Hello, Busmaha. Nice to see you, man. Uh,
And I was just looking at his
yeah,
stats, right? Like so he has 10 non-pen XG.
yeah,
And if you add like the pens, he's at 11.1 XG in 11 games. So
yeah,
he's basically averaging 1 XG per game, and then he has like a few like 1.2 XA added in. He's
yeah.
just a beast, bro. Like what a beast, man.
Exactly. Getting in all kind of situations, and when you see City's output, it's been only Haaland. Like if he's missing, they're gone. Like from everything. But probably they will find more players to score if he's out. But I think they're praying that he's not out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting because like you would think from a tactical perspective, you're coming up against Man City. There's only one guy to really stop. And if you stop Holland or you put two guys on Holland, then they haven't really been scoring any goals.
yeah,
So I was
exactly.
thinking Liverpool would definitely be able to stop him, but somehow Konate, bro. Oh my God. I mean, if we want to move the conversation on to Liverpool, like
Yeah.
I'm just so disappointed in Konate this year, bro. Like I don't know what you think.
I'm as well. He has been poor. To be fair, I've never been his biggest fan. To be fair, I always thought that he gave me Mamadou Sakho vibes. Like he looks good on paper, but when I watch him, he has been poor. I don't know. It's the same with Upamecano. Everyone says how Upamecano is a generational talent of a center back, and when I watch Bayern Munich defend, like Upamecano is 1 millisecond away from making a mistake. Like
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. In the way he runs, in the way he moves with the ball, I just find Kunate not at the level that I want to see him and to see a Liverpool defender, to be fair. And I was excited to see the Leone guy, how he will fare. Probably he would have had some playing time, but with that injury, yeah, it's been awful. And Kunate has never been the guy that I trusted the most, and he keeps failing Liverpool in my eyes in a lot of sense.
Yeah, even like the goal we conceded to Man City, like the first one, it was like Doku went by. I think he went by Bradley, and the goalie barely touched him, and then he got the pen. And so I was actually going into this game week without Holland. Like I went for Salah. I went
Yeah,
completely against the template because Liverpool had just went out against Real Madrid and Aston Villa, had two clean sheets in a row. So I was like, okay, this could be the week where Holland blanks. And as soon as I saw them get the pen, I was like, "Oh, here we go!" Like he gets his first pen when I sell him, but luckily for me, he missed. Good save by Mamadashvili, but that I thought that was the moment where I'm like, "Oh my god, like I'm in the money here, like I have a chance." And then there was the cross from Matthias Nunez, and Konate was in front of him. But for some reason, either he mistimed the jump or he just missed the ball or whatever it was, and goes over him right to Holland into the back of the net, 1-0 Man City, and I'm like, wow, like this is just what Holland has been doing all year.
Yeah, yeah. And what I find interesting is a lot of people are saying that Kerkez is the issue to Liverpool. I would say it's more not only Kerkez is the issue. I find the right center back another issue to Liverpool because the right back Bradley or Frimpong, they have been both poor, but when they cross the ball, most of the time it's on the Van Dijk's head because he is the guy that is waiting for the cross or for whatever is there to happen, and he's cleaning the ball. But when Kerkez is out of position and Van Dijk has to cover for him slightly, and then there is just a big gap in the box that Konate is not able to cover at all. And for me, that is why the left back has been an issue to Liverpool, because Van Dijk is covering the issues at right back because he's handling all the pressure situations from getting the ball in. But with Konate's poor form, what I thought about was like, okay, Konate is poor. Who I would like Liverpool to get in defense in the center back position? And when I started thinking about center backs in world football in general, I couldn't find someone that it's very reachable to Liverpool. Like, let's skip the Real Madrid players, they're not coming to Liverpool. The Bayern Munich players, they're not coming, so on and so on. There isn't a player, maybe apart from Van den Ven, that I would say, okay, this guy makes sense in our defense. Like before, I think there were better defenders. Probably, I was like, okay, Spurs have a nice backline, Aston Villa has a nice backline, Newcastle, okay, Newcastle have a nice backline. Maybe someone from Newcastle can cover. But oh no, I was like, who is a good defender in the world that is reachable to Liverpool? And I couldn't find it, which is kind of scary if you ask me. Like, yeah, it's strange.
It is, it's crazy. I think the disappointing part is it's like it seems like the coach is a little bit lost. Like, if you look at the Aston Villa and Real Madrid games, we ended up going to our like old tried and tested lineup of Robertson at left back, Bradley's coming in at right back to replace Trent there, and then McAllister, Gravenberch, Deeper, and then Szoboszlai in front, where Szoboszlai is actually leading the press. I think the coach is a little bit confused because we're in a style of play where under Klopp we were like a Gergen pressing, high press system. And then now we're kind of in a more controlled system where we're trying to control possession, but we're still pressing high.
Yeah.
And when we had verts in the midfield, we just didn't like the press either wasn't good because Gakpo doesn't press like Diaz, and we didn't have anybody leading the press, and we were getting exposed. Whether that's Vert's fault or Gakpo's fault, whatever it is, or even Isak's fault at the time. Like I'm not sure if that's the issue, but the press was poor, and because it was easy to bypass the press, teams were getting lots of chances in behind our defense. And so, like if you look at like the table, you'll see in terms of like expected goals conceded, we're not even in the top 3 or top 4. Like, it's been a pretty poor season
Yep.
defensively, but in the last 2, I think he's found some sense of control, especially in the midfield. When you have those 3 playing in the midfield, we're able to control the game so much more, and Szoboszlai's legs, in terms of his press, is so important for us if we're gonna be needing to play with a Gegenpressing style or a high line. Otherwise, it's gonna be easy for people to bypass the press and play the ball in behind, and Konate and Van Dijk are exposed, you know?
Exactly, exactly. It's been like I always compare it to a basketball game. It's like from one end to the other, from one end to the other all the time. Like when I watched against Carabao Cup final against Crystal Palace, not Carabao, Community Shield, and I was like, we cannot survive this. It was like all the way up and all the way down. Like I was like, we don't have the legs for this to survive it, and that got the same thing against Bournemouth. And I was like, no, no, no. If this keeps happening, it's going to hurt us a lot. Yeah, we have several guys in the chat. Hello, FPO Hippie. He said he messaged you, so you can discuss with him.
Yeah, no
And
worries. Like just to tell FPL Hippie, I don't use like Blue Sky anymore. Like I think it was a phase for like 2 months or 3 months of last season where people were considering going to Blue Sky, and some people might have migrated there, but I don't use it.
yeah, and Busmacha is asking for an FPL channel of yours. Kanji is not active on YouTube, but there is a link down in the description for his X/Twitter, and you can follow him there. He makes some very nice threads, and he appears on a lot of people's pods, so you can hear from him regularly. So you can follow
Yeah,
him
I think
there.
like MV will always have like a soft spot because it's like we're both Liverpool fans. We probably watch
Yeah.
every single game. There's just so much to touch on. So one player I want to hear your opinion on is somebody that I've kind of fallen in love with this season. Last year, he was more of like he was annoying. He was kind of like the guy that at Liverpool felt like wasn't good enough. And I'm talking about Dominic Szoboszlai, where he's taken his game up a level. Where when he gets the ball, I'm always on the edge of my seat when he gets the ball. I'm like, oh my god, something's about to happen here. In the first few games, he was more of a utility man for the coach, right? Like, we didn't have Bradley, we didn't have Frimpong, so he was filling in at right back. Gravenberch has missed 2 games already this year, so Bosley filling in at CDM. So he's like the utility man. But when he plays in the midfield, he's so good. Now, when you're looking at his stats from an FPL perspective, right, his minutes at CDM and his minutes at right back have inflated his def cons
Yeah.
and devalued his XGI per 90, right? Because like his XGI per 90 is around like 0.2. But like first of all, he's a 90-minute guy. And those minutes at right back and at CDM are an
But when
anomaly.
he
Like
plays,
he should be playing, given
he's
what the
so
system has
good.
been now, he should be playing as the 10. Like, so you're basically buying, in my opinion, somebody that plays 90 minutes. Def cons are not going to be as high as I originally expected, but you're getting somebody that's going to pick up 3.3 or zero point 0.4 XGI per 90 for the team that's going to be the first or second highest in terms of goals scored over the next like 5 to 10 weeks. So I'm curious to hear like what you think about him from an FPL perspective. Do you think he's a trap? Do you think you're better off going in like a Mateta Tiago formation, or do you think having him as like a fourth or fifth mid is just as good?
To be fair, from Liverpool's perspective, for me, it's him that's the best asset at the moment. He's getting the minutes. That's the most important thing when you buy an FPL asset. It's his minutes, in my opinion, because whenever he's on the field, he has a chance to do something. If he's not on the field, his appeal decreases. Uh, I think that, as you mentioned, he's the 90-minute man, and when Liverpool have issues, he's there to fill them. So if Bradley is out, it's going to be Szoboszlai at right back. If Gravenberch is out, as you mentioned, it's going to be Szoboszlai deeper. If everyone is fit, it's going to be Szoboszlai up ahead, and it's going to be always going to be Szoboszlai. So that's the beauty of the asset. He takes some free kicks, which is nice. He can score bangers just like against Arsenal. As you mentioned, he's the leader of the press, and if we manage to find someone in a trap, you can go. You mentioned Mateta and Thiago. I agree, but I think you can add Szoboszlai into that Thiago rotation, because looking at the fixtures when I was preparing for this, Liverpool have a nice run of 4, 5, 7 fixtures, whatever. Brentford has 2 fixtures that are nice, then they have 2 very bad fixtures. So you can safely leave Szoboszlai as a backup option, like an expensive backup option, I would say. But still, I think even as a fourth midfielder, Szoboszlai, for me, if anyone is buying a Liverpool asset, should be that Szoboszlai pick. For me, he's the only player that has value in his price, and you are sure enough in his minutes to get in that team. Because I was thinking about McAllister, as you know, my challenge of only World
Mm,
Cup winning nations. I was thinking
yeah.
about McAllister, but McAllister plays deep, man, and when the team is not functioning, they're taking him out pretty early, which is something that I do not like. If it was last season, I would have been more certain in his minutes, because he was playing 80, 85, 90 minutes week in and week out. While now, Szoboszlai is that guy. Before it was Szoboszlai taken off and McAllister survived the game. Now it's Szoboszlai that survives the game and McAllister is subbed off. I don't know, it's because of his injury issues at the beginning of the season and they're managing his time. But I was thinking about McAllister, Gravenberch, and Soboswai as options. I can only afford to get McAllister, but for me it's Soboswai, Gravenberch, maybe Van Dijk, and no one else, to be fair. At the moment, I think they're struggling massively everywhere else. The front three is not set. I cannot tell you go Gakpo, Ekitike, Wirtz, Isaac. Salah is too expensive for my liking. I just don't like him. So, yeah. Let's answer for some
Yeah.
quick questions from people that I found before we move on. Game must be a worry for owners. Wouldn't surprise me if he don't play next week. Supposed to be on crutches. Joseph Robinson, yes, but he was in training camp for England. He today got sent off at home, so I'll be expecting some updates from Guasner before I make some decisions there. What do you think about Gay there, Kanji? It's a wait and see for me.
I think he's an easy downgrade to Richards. I mean, if you have the transfers, move it. I don't think there's much difference, but if you don't, then hold. Like,
Yeah,
there's no need to sell. I think we've seen somebody like Bruno Fernandes be on crutches, and a week later he starts, right?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
let's just wait for updates.
Yeah, Busmacha is saying that a lot of content creators are overlooking the need to invest in defensive midfielders. To be fair, this year I'm surprised how high scoring defensive midfielders are. Not because of DEFCONs, but because of goals, of assists. If you look at Gravenberch, if you take a look at Rice, Elliot Anderson even, Caicedo, I miss the most obvious one. They're just getting some attacking returns that we didn't expect from them, and that's nice, I would say. So I'm all for investing in defensive mids. What's your thought process about it?
Well, if you think that like Caicedo scoring 3 goals from 0.6 XG is repeatable, then go ahead. But like, I'm not buying somebody that's just gonna get DEFCONs. Even Elliot Anderson's penalty was such an anomaly. I think you're gonna find one of Chris Wood or Morgan Gibbs White to be on the pitch to
Yeah,
take the pen. Now, you could argue, for example, that because Gibbs White missed his last pen in, I don't know, the Europa League or the Conference League, whichever league that is, he did miss it. And you had Anderson make the pen and score it. So maybe he jumps higher in the pecking order. I don't know. So I would say Elliot Anderson is the only one that I'd be interested in because of like he has some sort of access to pen share and he also has excellent minutes and he's so good at DEFCONs. But like the likes of Gravenberch and Caicedo, I'm really not interested because I don't like their non-pen XGI per 90 data. I don't think it's enough to just have DEFCONs and clean sheet points.
yeah.
So
Maybe as a
yeah.
fifth midfielder, it's okay, but they're a lot more expensive now, unlike the start of the season. So yeah, it's
Yeah, but it's the likes of, for example, like to add on to this person's point, like Sabozlai is a good example of somebody that I do like.
yeah,
Declan Rice is an example of someone I do like. I just don't like the pure out and out CDM. So like I'm happy to have a central midfielder this year.
yeah. That makes sense. IBK Max says, going into this fixture congestion period, which teams not in Europe are you looking to buy assets from? First of all, for me, it's Manchester United. I think they have 5 of the easiest fixtures moving forward. I think that Brentford are on my radar as well. One player in particular. And maybe Bournemouth. It's for me. Everyone else plays to some capacity in Europe. So yeah, it's pretty limited this year. A lot of teams from England play in Europe. So it's pretty hard to find teams that are not in Europe. But for me, are United at the top. Then it's Brentford from some specific player. And it's probably Bournemouth. What are your thoughts about it here?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful when you think about United. I mean, look at the XG conceded non-penalty. They're the second worst in the league somehow. So I was considering the likes of Dallo and Dorgu to start the season and maybe even bring them in some of the good fixtures. But defensively, I don't know if I should trust them at all. But offensively, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Man United is a good attack. No issues there. Bumo, Cunha, Bruno. Interesting to think like if you're going to buy one of the mids now in terms of Brian Mbumo or Matthias Cunha, who would you prioritize if you had to buy a second one alongside Bruno?
If it's this week, it's Mbumu. If it's from game week 14 onwards, for me it's Cunha. Because if you buy Mbumu now, I think he's in a good form, in a really, really good form. I don't know how Cameroon missing the World Cup qualification game last night that they lost to someone is going to affect him, but I think he's a better asset at the moment than Kune if you can buy someone. So I would probably be going to get Mbumu right now, and you get 5 transfers, man. You can readjust the team in game week 16 when Mbumu is off to AFCON, and yeah, for me it's Mbumu. Personally, if I could, I would have bought Mbumu. I already bought Cunha in my team because I needed a midfielder from United, and the only one available is Cunha. To be fair, here I want to mention Casemiro as someone that I scouted a bit, because this guy is strangely on the end of every set piece that they're doing. I don't know how and why, but this guy is just getting at the end of these free kicks and those corner kicks, and he has scored some goals. And of course, he gets a lot of defensive contributions. So if you're looking for a cheeky midfielder from Manchester United, I would say Casemiro is someone that is interesting for me.
I think like if they had somebody like Elliot Anderson in their midfield, somebody that played 90 minutes, someone that hit the DEFCONs and picked up some set piece GA like Casemiro, I think we'd even consider him. Like
Yeah,
genuinely we would. But like without the 90 minutes, I think Casemiro is just it's a little bit of a risk. But you know, you get what you pay for. He's really
yeah.
cheap, right?
As a fifth midfielder, here and there, you might not struggle a lot. Who knows? Hello, nice to see you, man. He doesn't like the GMs as well as you. And Moniz is having a surgery, so Rowe is gonna get minutes and will be on pens, but Fulham aren't looking great. What do you think? I think I will be steering clear from Fulham as much as possible. If you take a look at the teams, it's the bottom two, then it's the Aston Villa and Sunderland for expected goals, and then it's Fulham. I would be just avoiding as much as possible. I don't know about you, Kanji, but I can name you probably 10 better strikers to buy compared to the Fulham striker, to be fair.
10 is crazy. That's
Yeah.
so disrespectful. But I mean, it's kind of true. That's the thing. But like from a value perspective, right? What is his price? Like 6.5, maybe less. Like he will be good value. He's gonna play 90 minutes and be on pens. I think the fixtures are a little bit mixed though, because they've
Yeah.
already played Wolves.
No, they're
Maybe
bad.
they've
They're
I don't
not
know
mixed. They're bad. They're pretty
yeah, because
bad.
it's Sunderland and then it's bad, I think, for a few weeks. So
Yeah.
just go somewhere else, bro.
Yeah. So if you take a look, I prefer at this price both Welbeck, Thiago. I may go for Igor Jesus from Forest even if I have to go there. Who else is there? The Sunderland players. I don't know if Broby is going to be getting more stars because this guy has been good in the last couple of years at Ajax. I was pretty excited to see him joining the Prem. But yeah, compared to Rowe, I think it's not happening.
So MV,
Sandri,
like
yeah.
oh sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
Sandri
ahead.
is
You go.
asking Paqueta to rise. I like that move. Maybe not in the next 2 weeks because Arsenal fixtures are Chelsea and Spurs, which is not ideal if you ask me. But yeah, if you are looking to replace Paqueta, Rice is always a good option.
Yeah, for sure. If you look at the tables that we have, like, right, so in terms of the season-long XG from game week 1 to game week 11, we have the XG on the left, non-penalty, and the XG conceded on the right, non-penalty. Are there any teams that, like, stood out to you where you're, like, surprised compared to where we were either last international break or in preseason?
To be fair, I'm really surprised how low Sunderland are, especially when they're scoring so many goals. They scored against Chelsea, against Arsenal twice. Like, they're scoring some goals, so I'm very surprised that they're that low. I'm a bit surprised that Chelsea is that high, to be fair, because they have been struggling, but they have been scoring goals, which is kind of interesting. And Brighton is pretty high, if you ask me. If you ask me who is in the top 10, I was never going to say Brighton. Probably I would have expected Brighton to be down to the Fulham, Aston Villa rates.
Wow.
Yeah, they are attacking team, but I don't know why they just cannot convert it. Like they're hit and miss uh, most of the time. And I'm surprised that Forest is that high. To be fair, they haven't scored a lot. And once again, I was expecting those numbers to be there. From expected goals conceded, I am surprised Brentford are that high, like above Liverpool. That's surprising for me. Um, I'm surprised Spurs are that low because they've kept some nice clean sheets, but obviously they're conceding some goals. And of course, United being that low is very surprising. They are probably one of the top teams expected goals and the bottom from SGC. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I think United's a standout from defensively. Like they look poor. I'm surprised to see them this low. Chelsea as well. I'm surprised to see them like lower mid-table for defensive data. I was really surprised by that. So
yeah,
those two things really shocked me.
I'm not surprised because they've played 5 games with 10 men, so they're going to rack up
Mm.
a lot of chances against them because every game they got someone sent off, and it was a keeper against United, a defender against someone in the next game. So they're getting a lot of people sent off, and then they're conceding the chances. So I think their numbers are misleading.
Wow, that's a really good point. Wow. A lot of Chelsea fans will give you a lot of respect for saying that because I kind of agree. But I forgot about it until you say it because I'm just like, oh my God, like that just looks so poor.
Yeah, yeah,
Even like Aston Villa defensively, they're just genuinely mid-table. I think Holland blanked versus them. Correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
but
They
like
blanked
just
that
a
one.
solid mid-table team.
Yeah,
And even like the likes of you mentioned like Sunderland and Leeds, like they are mid-table. Like we have 10 weeks of data to tell us that these defenses, I know Sunderland's fixtures have been solid. They've been good to start the year, but in general, like Sunderland, Leeds, these are like mid-table defenses. They're not poor defenses. The worst defenses in the league are like West Ham, Wolves, and Burnley. Like
yeah.
those three stand out as the worst defenses. Even Tottenham. Tottenham have been they've just been ready to just get smashed. I think the last 2 weeks, they've been so underwhelming.
I agree. Which is very surprising. I can say the same to Newcastle. When I watch them in Europe, both of them are amazing. Both of these teams are just amazing. Like they're keeping clean sheets, they're scoring goals from set pieces, from attacking potential. 4 goals for Newcastle, 2 goals the next game, 3 goals. Then for Spurs, they're scoring 4. They got a man sent off and they scored 2 goals after that. I was like, okay, I really like that. And when they go to the Prem, they're just shit. Like utterly shit teams to watch. Newcastle have been so underwhelming to watch in the Prem. I know that their conceded non-penalty goals are low, but they've been conceding every game. And last game around, it was awful against Brentford. Who knows is asking what about Coyote from Brentford? By the looks of the data, he's throwing that ball like it's his life depends on it. So he's going to get an assist here and there, a random assist. He's playing as a fullback. By the looks of it, the numbers are in his favor. He's a better prospect than Liverpool defense, than Fulham, than Aston Villa's, than Chelsea's. So you can get Coyote in my opinion. Also, a replacement to Reinders. If you have 5.6 in the bank, I think that the money is low here, and you'd probably be looking to buy a defensive mid. I don't know if you have a cheap pick in midfield, Kanji. That's going to surprise people, but I think it's a defensive mid for that price. I don't think it's worth to buy a random winger that is not going to get 90 minutes. Get someone like Elliot Anderson for me, and he will do the job here and there.
Yeah, yeah. Elliot Anderson or Graven Birch with a good fixture
Yeah,
on one of
yeah,
them.
yeah. And yeah, also to add to the Chelsea defense, like who knows mentioned, yes, they're on hit and miss, and they leak goals for fun. But as I mentioned, for me, those numbers are coming because of the red cards. When I watch them 11 to 11 with their best defense, with their best mid, it's it's been stable. But when, of course, they're down to 10 men, I think the numbers are just maybe they're around the Brentford Crystal Palace ratio when they're 11 men. So I think
Yeah.
that they're a top tier defense in that sense.
Another thing I think I've learned this year is that like the level of the Premier League is just really strong. So when you have like the Premier League teams playing in the Champions League, as you mentioned, Newcastle and Tottenham, these are like above average teams in the Premier League or good teams in the Premier
Yeah,
League. They're just destroying it in Europe because
exactly.
like the quality of the teams that are like obviously not the biggest teams like the likes of Barca, PSG, Real Madrid, like those types of teams, those guys are elite as well. But everyone else, like the tier below, is just so much worse than
Yeah,
what the Premier League
yeah.
players are probably used to.
Yeah, and to compare, Newcastle played against Barca and they played fine. Like Rashford scored twice very good goals, but Newcastle were fine for the most of the game. Like if they had Voltemade at full strength against Barcelona, I think they would have probably caused them a lot more issues. So yeah, it's really strange, but to be fair, the fixtures for Newcastle and Spurs have been amazing in Europe. It's not like the Liverpool facing Real Madrid, facing this, facing that. They're facing some below average teams, but even City, Arsenal, and Chelsea have been doing fine. Chelsea have been struggling there, to be fair, but they have been experimenting, man. They're getting on my nerves in UCL because they're putting the reserve back four. They're just putting random players in midfield in attack, and I think that's why they're struggling there. But generally, I agree. The level of Prem teams is way higher than the average European teams. If you compare Newcastle and Juventus at this moment, I would say that Newcastle will come up on top. I am not sure if they play Napoli or Inter. If they play Inter Milan, probably Inter is on top. But Napoli, that are the champions of Italy, I would still favor Newcastle, to be fair.
Wow. And that just goes to show you like how good these like good teams in the Premier League can be.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe
I
the
like the
level.
Coyote show, by the way,
Yeah,
from the chat. Like the Coyote show is pretty solid. Like if you look at like the XGC, they're just above Liverpool. He has like the long throw-ins. I'm not sure how good he is on DEFCONs, but those long throw-ins will add up for chances created, I assume. Usually you'll see like the guy that takes the throw doesn't usually get the assist. It's like
yeah.
usually a flick on from a center back. So I always still prefer the center back. So I prefer Collins over Coyote, obviously. But if you have to spend less, then he's a good pick too.
Yeah, Coyote is interesting, and he's a fullback. We are this year. I think what we're missing is the classic fullback. Apart from Munoz from Crystal Palace, no other team has a proper flying fullback that is getting you the returns. Kukurea is not that guy at this moment. City doesn't have it. Arsenal doesn't have it. Liverpool doesn't have it. Aston Villa doesn't have it. Spurs doesn't have it. Poro and Udogi have been absent, or Spence or whatever, they have been just absent. It's only Munoz that's doing it. So maybe Coyote is
Yeah,
the second
Munoz.
best.
Uh, Munoz is a beast, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's just one of those players that like when I look at his stats, I'm like in awe of like how much XG, how much distance covered, the minutes played in both competitions. Like, yeah, I just marvel at players like that. He's like one of the best in the league.
Munoz and double Arsenal defense, and your defense is sorted for the rest of the season. If you ask me, you don't get
Yeah,
rotation.
yeah.
You get an attacking return. You get clean sheets. You get everything.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think the difference between like Richards and Munoz is only like 8 points or something. And like you're
Yeah,
spending like 1.2 less. Like that's a lot of money saved.
yeah, but Gay is higher than Munoz in that sense. Like he has got more points because of DEFCONs, but I think that Munoz will get you the higher ceiling because yeah, you compare those points, but you have a lot of opportunities where you wouldn't play Richards or Gay. Like if it's a rotation pair, probably you wouldn't get all of their points. They will score an odd goal here and there. But Munoz, you'll be playing him week in and week out, and you'll be getting these points every week. So I think that's the big difference because a lot of people are benching Richards. I haven't seen anyone bench Munoz.
Okay. So let me ask you this question then. So let's say you have the ability to pick any player in the game. I know you have your own restrictions at the
Yeah,
moment, but let's say you want double Arsenal defense for the rest of the season. Gabriel's the lock. Who's the second one that you would pick and
probably
why?
Timber. Probably Timber because he's cheaper than the rest and he gets into a very interesting position. If you take a look at his heat maps, he's sometimes playing higher than Gyökeres, which is quite surprising for me, and I'm probably willing to risk it with Timber. Uh, Saliba is more nailed, but I prefer to spend less and get Timber.
You know, that's actually not true. Saliba is actually less nailed. Timber started every game in the Prem, and Saliba's been benched for Mosquera, I think,
Yeah,
twice,
but he
maybe three
was
times
injured.
now.
Saliba was injured in that sense. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's true. That's
I
true. That's
I
true.
think when he's fit, Saliba is playing more. But for me, Timber and Gabriel are the double that I'm taking from Arsenal any day. Raya was in my consideration, but this guy is either 6 or 2 points. There isn't nothing in between. Even when he played City, he played Liverpool, he doesn't rack up saves because the defenders are that good and they're not getting him any chances to concede. So I think that it's just a waste of a spot. You can get maybe Donnarumma is a better shout in that defense because you're paying the same price, but you get the nailed player in that defense, and they're still conceding some chances. Even though Donnarumma didn't get more than 2 shots saved against Liverpool, which was quite frustrating if you ask me. Liverpool had 2 shots on target against Manchester City. That's unheard of. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's my thought process. I don't know about Brentford. If you think Kelleher is a good player to pick, I don't know, but I prefer the defenders. Both Coyote and Collins for me are just better assets.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so it was interesting to hear your thoughts. I was thinking, like, for me, I was looking at the defenders versus the goalie. I'm trying to figure out like which is the best second Arsenal. It's like I think in fixture congestion, I still think Timber's gonna play every game.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll miss once or twice. I don't think he'll miss many. And Arsenal will prioritize minutes in the Premier League as they're looking to win the league this season. So I I don't think Timber's that much of a risk. And there is a chance that like in the 1 or 2 games he's benched that he doesn't come on. Like there is a genuine chance of that. 'Cause, like,
yeah.
maybe he's gonna be benched in, like, an easy game, but that's the exact type of game where you'd wanna have your Arsenal defender, and, like, that fear of minutes risk is why I just can't go there myself, where I'd rather just own Van Dijk in that 2nd premium spot or Cucurella where I know those minutes are just nailed on, like, there's just no one as good as them in the team. So, like, yeah, that's the thing, and also, like, if you think about goalies, like, there aren't really many standout goalies. Like, Pope would be the only one where I look at, like, the XGC and, like, I look at Newcastle defense and it's been solid, but on the data, but they haven't really been producing
Yeah,
cleans. They only kept the cleans when nobody owned them in the beginning part of the season. So,
exactly.
like, like, you would think that, like, these save points would rack up, but, like, Arsenal defense is just so solid, and even now in the tough fixture run, that they have, because they went through a gorgeous fixture run. They just played like Fulham, Palace, Sunderland, Burnley. Like no one expected save points for Raya, but if Raya can pick up some save points against like Brentford, against Chelsea, or against Aston Villa, and he keeps it clean, then maybe he can steal some bonus in a few of those games too. So that's why I'm like, I'm not really interested in selling Raya at the moment. But the higher in price he gets, the more I have to really consider selling him because, like, he is bordering on the verge of being too expensive. That's the thing.
I don't think that these teams will rack up expect goals against Arsenal. I've watched a lot of Arsenal games this season, both in UCL, both in Prem. They're just not conceding chances. They're just controlling the game to that sense. Like the 93rd minute in the game against, who was it? It was against Burnley, I believe. They ran from one corner to the other, the 11 of them, like, of course not Raya, but the 10 of the outfield players like run like hell to keep that clean sheet. I watched a game against Slavia Praha in UCL, and it was 3-0 to Arsenal, and I'm like, okay, they're now going to reduce the intensity, blah 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 blah. Saka came from a counter attack to Arsenal. He then tracked back the counter attack for Slavia Praha, and he was the guy that cleared the ball in front of the box. The attack was happening on the right flank of Slavia Praha, so he ran the whole pitch diagonally to cover a spot in that in order to clean the ball. And I'm like, okay, these guys this year are going to run like hell for that manager, and they're just not conceding any chances at all. And I'm like, yeah, I get why Raya is a good option for you. It's nailed player, and you either get the 6 points or you don't get the clean sheet. But if you like to
You
have,
don't get much.
yeah,
There's no upside.
yeah, zero upside for
But
6 million.
yeah, so here's the thing, right? Like if you look at these 4.5 players, I'll give you the perfect example. Richards. Like he is just so reliable. Like he's gonna be picking up DEFCONs. He's not gonna be getting as many clearances. Like it doesn't make it look as easy as Lacroix, who just clears the ball all the time. But
Yeah,
you have Richards who'll get the tackles and the interceptions and a few clearances here and there, especially because like if you're game planning against Crystal Palace, Munoz loves to be in the right wing position. So the space is behind him. So like Richards is usually going to be the side that you're going to attack. So as long as he's not picking up yellow cards, he's going to be involved in a lot of the defensive play when you're looking to counterattack against Palace. So like
yeah,
he'll end up with a lot of defcons naturally because of the system. So that's why I'm like, I think the value of somebody like him in your defense is just so strong at the 4.5 price point that like if you're able to rotate him with let's say a Senesi or a Michael Keane or an Anderson or a Delo just through some good fixtures, I think that is just one really good value position in FPL where I'm like that 4.5 defensive price point, like you can get a lot of points per million in that spot. That's why I'm like I'm prioritizing that and then just keeping the big money in the goalkeeper spot, and it won't be a good value. Like Raya's not going to be a good value pick, but he'll just get the most points at the end of the day. So you know,
yeah, yeah, I agree. Answering some questions, FPO Hippie is saying that his keepers are Donnarumma and Sanchez. That's an expensive rotation pair, if you ask me, but his value is 104.1 million, which is a lot of money in that team. So, yeah, nice. Sandri is asking, how about Bruno Guimaraes? He's definitely getting him. For me, I would not be getting Bruno G. For me, Newcastle are at the moment not creating a lot of chances. I don't know about you, Kanji, but I'm not a very big fan of Bruno G.
let's take a look at his DEFCON. So he's had 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 11, 9, 11. So he could have hit DEFCONs 3 times, right? So he's hit DEFCONs once.
Yeah,
So maybe if he gets lucky, he will end up with another one or two. Now, he will also get some clean sheet points as well in the future where they have like that really good run for Newcastle where they play like Burnley, Sunderland, Chelsea, United, Burnley, Palace, Leeds, Wolves. Like that's a really strong run. So maybe in that run, you could consider him. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not sure I even believe in his GA threat. So
yeah,
it's
exactly. I would prefer Murphy, Voltemade, Pope, Burn, Tiao, Livramento all over him. Like, it's not that he's not a good asset, it's the reason that he's blocking other assets for me from that side that I'm not a fan of.
And also, like, I'm not a fan of the coach. Like, the
Yeah,
coach is a notorious liar. Like, in the past 2 or 3 seasons, this is just from my own FPL experience. Like, whenever I have a Newcastle player in my squad, I listen to the press conferences or I'm waiting for news from, I don't know, let Andy, Let's Talk FPL or somebody like that to give me an update on the news from his press conference. And, like, sometimes he'll just lie.
yeah,
And, like,
he
that's the
lies. Yeah,
exact worst thing. Like, some people will lie and some people don't say the truth, right? Like, some people will, like, they'll give you some doubt around it, or some people will just this guy will genuinely lie, say he's okay, and then this guy's been in the hospital for like a week.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like that's the exact type of thing you don't want. Like that is so critical. So I told myself if I ever go for a Newcastle player, they have to be like 20 or 30% better than the alternative, just because I know I can't trust the X minutes, especially with them being in Europe this year, where
Yeah,
their lineup is going to be unpredictable at times. So like I would just give you some caution and say like I would look at someone else instead of him.
yeah, me too. Barca fan is asking who is the best midfielder in the game. My answer at the moment is probably still Semenyo. I don't know about you, but for me it's still Semenyo.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like there's this guy from Arsenal. His name's like Starboy Saka. I don't know if you've heard of him, but like if you really think about this, the guy's on penalties, all right?
Yeah,
Havertz is going to come back into the team. Gyökeres and Havertz will split minutes. Let's just assume that Havertz. Honestly, Havertz is like a better overall player than I think Gyökeres. Gyökeres is a better finisher, and for the
yeah,
system, I honestly think Havertz is better. So I think Havertz will probably get more priority minutes. I
yeah,
think.
he will.
I could be wrong, but regardless, like the pen share will be on Saka. Maybe he'll give one to Odegaard when he's back. Who knows? But Saka has the pen share, and then he has the minutes. Now you can argue Madueke will take some minutes away, Arsenal are also fighting in the Champions League and the Premier League. So minutes are not just nailed in the Premier League. Like in the past few years, Palmer just had nailed minutes in the Prem. That's not how it is for Saka. It's going to have to be managed. But I think with the pens, with the 90 minutes, and also he picked up DEFCONs twice this season.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a guy that's pretty much getting like, he's getting the clean sheet points. Arsenal are going to keep a lot of clean sheets. He's getting 1 point for a clean sheet. He's getting the bonus. He has the ability to ramp up his talismanicness for Arsenal. Like, can you see the chart that we got from Meerkat? If you could go
Yes.
to one of the next slides.
Yes, I was going to move swiftly into that and discuss um, the talismans. It was surprising to me. You say Saka, but he's not in the top 3. That was the most surprising thing in that list for me. And seeing Eze as a second pick, it doesn't feel like he was a second pick. I don't know about you, but since I owned Eze, he has not been involved in that many goals. He has 1 goal and 1 assist. But to be fair, Saka got 2 goals, so it's not that difference, a big difference. So yeah, about
I
Arsenal,
think like
they're splitting it.
sample size has to like. By the way, this is like from Meerkat. This is from
Yeah,
Charlie on
yeah.
Twitter on X. Like if you follow him or on Twitter, just make sure you drop FPL Meerkat a follow. He always posts this graphic. I'm not sure if it's live yet, but he sent it to me yesterday. And that's like, and again, you mentioned it. Like I think it's about sample size. I think this only includes the Premier League, but we've watched Arsenal for the past few years, and we know Saka will probably be number 1 or number 2 come the end of this. He has no assists this season so far in
Yeah.
the Premier League, but that will change. And like if we included some of the Champions League games, I'm sure his goal involvement percentage will increase. But
Yes,
I
it
just
will.
wanted to emphasize him as like one of the best picks in the game. Like he has more non-pen XGI than Mo Salah this season, and he's like 4 million less. Like it kind of just makes sense to go if you're going without Salah and Holland is obviously in your team. I think Bruno and Saka are just the best options to consider. Like they're both like 90 minutes on paper, they're both 90 minutes, and on pen, Saka is probably going to be 80, 85 minutes in the
Yeah.
future when Madueke is fit. But yeah, that's who I think is the best mid in the game. Did you answer who you think is the best?
I think it's still Semenyo. Like who knows mentioned, if he had scored that penalty during last weekend, I would say that people will call him a cheaper Saka. Like you're calling Saka a cheaper Salah, but I can say Semenyo is a cheaper Saka in that sense. Like he's the talisman, he has no Europe, no rotation risk, still probably on penalties even though he missed it. At some point he had 75% of his team goals, like everything was moving around him. And for the money you're paying, I agree with Saka, but I think that probably Saka plus Tavernier will get you less points than Semenyo and Rice if you combine the duo.
Mm.
So I would say Semenyo and Rice is better, especially as you're captaining Haaland every week. You are not comparing captain points here and there. Like you can go against the group once or twice, but with that run, most of the players are going just for City captain in Haaland. So I would say that I still believe that Semenyo plus Rice for the same money as Tavernier and Saka will be better the first pair. But yeah, I see Saka as probably a second best midfielder, and it's pretty close if you ask me in the numbers.
Do you think Bruno is a better pick than Saka?
No,
Mm.
he
Well,
plays
Bruno
he
also
plays
has like
deeper.
Bruno.
He plays deeper.
Yeah, so Bruno and Saka both have access to DEFCONs. Like Saka, because of the system, like
Yeah,
Arteta is so strong defensively, it's just like a systematic thing where like he wants all of his players to defend. Saka usually is going to be creating chances. When he creates chances and somebody blocks the cross, maybe he gets the recovery and that sort of thing. So like his recoveries are more anomalies. I'm not sure if that's going to be like a trend that continues. I was looking at the data from last year and this year, like those 12 recoveries kind of felt a little bit lucky. But Bruno, I think, has access to DEFCONs more consistently. And
yes, that's
his
true.
XGI is actually so underrated for somebody that plays in his position. Like he just runs into the box. Like once someone else has possession and he knows he can get onto the end of a cross, like he'll run, he'll leave his position. And that's why United are so bad defensively because like Bruno is like their CM. Like he'll just run and try to become the 9 to get on the end of a cross. So yeah, I think Bruno is also a really good pick too. But if we had to consider one value mid, like there's so many good cheaper midfielders if you look at this list. You have like Rice, Kudus, Minte, you have Thiago's like a forward, but Bowen, Ndiaye. Like would you be if you had to pick one of those you had to keep in your team for the rest of the season, who would it be?
If I buy him now and keep until the end,
Yeah.
Rice, is it considered cheap?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
it's Rice for me.
Yeah. That makes sense.
For
Yeah, I
me,
can, that's my best friend. That's my best friend's favorite player.
yeah,
I hear a lot of Rice propaganda all the time.
for me it's Rice.
um,
He's just everywhere with Zubamendi. I was expecting that, to be fair, but I didn't expect it to happen that quickly. Like, for me, Zubimendi has been the transfer of the year for the Prem. I don't think there is a better transfer this year so far in every team that you take a look at. This guy just came into a new league from a team that wasn't a European giant or a regular European side, and he looks like he played for Arsenal for his whole career. And the way that he is just enabling Rice and giving him that best position that Rice operates in, that number 8 role. For me, I think I made a mistake going for Eze instead of Rice on my wildcard. That's one thing that I regret. But I expected more from Eze, to be fair, during the Odegaard's absence. But Riceman has been amazing, and I think he triumphs over Enzo. Enzo is another pick that I value a lot, but he just is over him in my eyes, and he triumphs over Sar for me, and even over Paqueta, over Endai. I don't know about you, but for me, it's this guy.
yeah, I agree. The problem is like Rice can be better than everyone else at his price point, but like Arsenal defenders at the same price point as Liverpool and Man City defenders are just 20 or 30% better than them. So like Rice to me doesn't feel like he's worth owning if I'm prioritizing the defense.
Yes, I
Is that
agree.
fair?
I agree. If you have Saka, yes. If you don't have an Arsenal
Yeah.
midfielder and you don't have the money for Saka, you can safely spend it on Rice. But yeah, you prefer to double Arsenal defenders. For me,
Yeah, exactly.
that's the
That's
play.
like yeah, that's what the data says is like the defense over the attack because like
Yeah,
the attack is very replaceable, but it's like of course you have to factor in defcon hit rate and you have to factor in clean sheet points. So like you have your own factors that you'll consider. I think if I had to pick a mid that I had to keep for the rest of the season, now of course there is AFCON, but it's actually Iliman Ndiaye because he gets 90 minutes. He's on the penalties for Everton. And if you flip back to the slide before that showed like the XG for the teams, I think Everton were like a mid-table attack in terms of XG created. So you're getting the 90 minutes, you're getting a mid-table attack. You don't have to worry about Europe. And he also picks up the DEFCONs as well. Like he's actually picked up the DEFCONs in the games that have been more difficult, right? So he
yeah,
picked up 17 DEFCONs against Man City, picked up 14 DEFCONs against Aston Villa, and 12 DEFCONs against Liverpool. So in the easy games, you want to own him because he's going to have chances to dribble past people, create chances, take shots, maybe get a penalty because they're dominating possession on in the opponent's box. And in the more difficult games where he can get a chance on the counter attack, of course, but he also, because of the system that Everton use, is very defensive minded and picks up defcons.
yeah,
So like he's like the perfect example of like a perma play asset where like you don't care what his fixtures are, you just play him every week.
yeah, yeah, I agree. People were
Yeah.
asking what, hello, Gio, first of all. People were asking what do I think about Enzo at this particular moment because he has played deeper. Uh, I I didn't expect, to be fair, Delap to be so quickly back into the team. I expected Enzo to play in that role where Joao Pedro is playing at the moment. When I bought Enzo, but until Palmer is back, I feel like Enzo is a hold because he's cheap. He will take penalties, and it will be enough in my own perspective. What do you think about it?
Yeah. I think Enzo's a great pick. He was my captain last week. I don't know how he got I don't know how he blanked. He actually got the man of the match award. I don't
Yeah,
know if it was from BBC or whatever, whoever gives up the man of the match. But he got the man of the match award, but then blanked. I felt really unlucky, but then also at the same time, like even though he was my captain, Holland also blanked for everyone else
yeah,
where he missed the penalty, right? He only got 4 points with no bonus as well. So I felt a little bit like I dodged a bullet in a sense, even though I felt unlucky
yeah, yeah,
with Enzo. I'm sure it would have balanced out. And another day, like Enzo would have got at least an assist or a goal, and then Holland would have got at least a brace, and then I would have just got punished if things happened in line with what I expected. So yeah, but I think Enzo as a pick in general, once Palmer is back, like his value is just reduced because like there's just too many good picks at his price. Like I'd prefer NDI over him.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
Sar will have better like XGI per 90 non-penalty once Palmer's back into the team. So like those two picks are probably better and like I will still consider Enzo from 24 to 27. When they have a really good fixture one, I'll consider him because I have like a really good price point in the midfield of 6.5. And I can always like move that spot around from Sabozlai to NDI to Sar to Enzo, like whoever I want. So I'll consider him at that time. But as, like, somebody to keep for, like, a longer term, if Palmer comes back and he's playing enough minutes, then I wouldn't have Enzo.
Yeah. What about Grealish?
Yeah, so Grealish versus India, I was thinking about this in around game week 1, and, like, when one of my friends wildcarded, he wildcarded around game week 3. He went Grealish early because like, he was impressed by Everton, but went with Grealish because he was, like, the bigger name, but I just think India has he's more direct, he has more XG, I think. He probably has less shots, but, like, because India doesn't shoot that often, but, like, he has the pens as well, so,
Yeah,
like, I would rather just go India, but because he's leaving for AFCON, I'm not even sure who's gonna play on the right wing, maybe it'll be Alcaraz or maybe it'll be McNeil comes into the midfield and somebody else moves
McNeil
out to the right,
probably.
I don't know.
McNeil's
Maybe
probably.
Dibbling or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, McNeil, one of these guys will come, who knows? Um, so maybe Grealish will up his, like, aggressiveness or, like, he'll just become more direct because he wants to show what he can do when India is out of the team, and maybe Grealish will get some penalty share because I know both strikers are just bad
yeah,
finishers. Um, I mean, so who knows? I mean, I would consider Grealish for a few weeks, but India longer term for sure.
yeah. Captain Ahmeda is asking about his team. Dubravka, Cash, Keane, O'Reilly. That's an interesting defense. No Arsenal defenders. That's the first thing that pops out to me. Like zero Arsenal defense. Salah, Mbumu, Doku, Semenyo, Haaland, Joao Pedro, Mateta. I think that you are missing that Arsenal defender. Of course, for me, it's a big, big miss. People are aiming for 2. You have 0, which I think should be fixed. Salah captain, I don't think so. I would go Haaland if I have Haaland. And the rest of the team is completely fine. Doku, Mbumu, Salah, Semenyo. I like that a lot. Mateta he has in the team. So yeah, apart from the absence of Arsenal defenders, I enjoy the team.
Yeah, I think if you're going with an Arsenal defense, like, that's why you've gone for Salah and Holland, and
Yeah,
it's easy to say, like, without an Arsenal defender, like, you're gonna get hurt, and the EO is ridiculously high. I think if you add in, like, Raya plus Gabriel, you're at 160%, and then a lot of managers have Timber as well, so, like, Arsenal defense EO is, like, 190%.
yeah,
So unless you own 2, even if you own 2, it doesn't hurt you really. Like, because so many people have probably tripled up, I'm sure, and some people even consider captaining Gabriel, so the EO doesn't really matter, but I think it's easy to say, like, in the last few weeks, given what we've seen, that or having Arsenal defenders over Salah is the play, because like, that's what has delivered in the last few. But that makes sense because, like, Liverpool fixtures have been bad. Arsenal fixtures have been the best in like, that's ever gonna be all season. So, of course, Arsenal defense has delivered over Salah. Now, going into the next few weeks, like, I know Salah has been bad. I know he has worse stats than Saka, but would it surprise you if Salah picked up like 60 points in the next 6 weeks before he leaves for AFCON? Probably not. And like that's the thing, like it's still the Egyptian king. You have to have the guts to captain him. Otherwise, I feel like you're not gaining enough on the field by owning him. And like you have the clear weeks to do it. Game like 12, 14, and 16. You can just go ahead and captain him. But I wouldn't do this because it's just too risky for the way I like to play FPL. Like And I'm saying that as someone that like didn't even own Holland last week when he was like 180% EO, but that was against Liverpool, and like I'm a Liverpool fan. But like I think it's a little risky. So what I would say is if you want to continue with this structure, you've already built it. I think downgrading the likes of João Pedro after his good fixture run into Thiago next week, when like João Pedro has like Arsenal and Thiago has Burnley, could be a good way to get some money to then upgrade one of your defender spots. I assume like Cash would probably need to be upgraded into like
Yeah,
a Gabriel or someone like that.
yeah, I agree. Ah, looking at the table that you've sent me, what surprised me the most was, first of all, Aston Villa's share. Secondly, the Nottingham Forest share really surprised me. And to be fair, everything else I expected. Like, I did not expect Chris Wood to be that high because he hasn't scored in a while, or assisted, or even played to that sense. So I think they have been just poor. Like 10 goals, he has 40% of them goal involvements. This goal involvements, right? Not only goals scored.
Mhm.
So yeah, he has
Oh
participated
no,
in,
this is just goal scored. Like this is just goal scored. Looking at who was involved.
yeah. So goal scored. Uh, so not so this is involved or goal scored.
Sorry. Yeah, I think this is goals and assists. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because if that
Sorry.
was the case, Bowen, Paquetá, and Diouf would have scored 4 goals each, which is not the case. But yeah, Diouf
Yeah.
has the assists. But yeah, Wood has been part of 4 of the goals, which is kind of strange. And Aston Villa, there is no Watkins here. I don't know if it made sense to people. And Rogers has been involved in less than 4 goals, or exactly 4 goals, which is a pretty low number. If you ask me, um, as talismans that I see, Haaland, of course, we've spoken about him. Gravenberg is a talisman for the Liverpool team, which is surprising. Semenyo is obviously why. Votemare is 56%, which for me is a very interesting number. He missed a couple of games at the start. He has been subbed off here and there, but still he's involved in 6 of those 11 goals, which is, if they increase their goals scored and he keeps being over 50%, I think that's an interesting number. And I might be looking to buy Votemade probably in game week 13, 14 as a nice Joao Pedro replacement. I see Votemade. I don't know about you, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see it that high. And the other player that's surprising me is Murphy. He has been part in 4 goals. Yes, 4 of the goals. So yeah, Murphy maybe with the form that Elanga has been, it's been pretty poor. Murphy can be an interesting cheap option, but yeah, those talismanic players I like a lot, and I know that you have Haaland, but as a player that cannot get Haaland, I might be going into a Votemade Thiago Mateta front three, and I think I might be fine. I don't know if Votemade is going to take the penalties until Gordon is out. I don't know until when Gordon is out, but I see a lot of appeal in the next couple of fixtures, and those 3 teams have a okay run. So, what's your thought process around it?
Yeah, I think what you mentioned about moving your structure because like you have no Salah and no Holland, like Mateta, Thiago, Saka kind of make a lot of sense. I know Bruno would as well, like, but I know I don't think you can get to Bruno, right?
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah, but those four would have been locks in your structure without like Salah or Holland. Um, so I guess like it depends on the other midfielders you could consider, but I think that makes sense. Voltemade is a good differential to consider over the next few weeks. Just touching on what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I have Welbeck as an option. Not pretty excited for Welbeck, to be fair. Probably excited to rotate him with Thiago, but I don't want to move that forward too much back and forth. I can keep Bowen, but honestly, I'm not interested because they've been poor and the fixture run is not there. and João Pedro is going to leave the team. Havertz I might get at some point, but for now he's not. Evan Newson has not been delivering, so he's not in contention. Watkins, I already mentioned, is not in contention. And yeah, that's it, basically. So I feel like last time when we were discussing my wildcard, we were considering the 3-5-2. I find it kinda more of a 3-4-3 in the last couple of weeks. My midfielders have been pretty poor. Eze, Enzo, Ivan Saka, Paqueta, they have all been blanking like regularly, while my forwards have been consistently delivering at least some points, like an odd assist here and there from Bowen. Mateta delivered a hat trick, then scored a one goal. Then it was João Pedro scoring in 2 games in a row when we expect him to score. And I'm like, why I shouldn't move to a 3-4-3 and play it like that? I prefer to have Saka. I would probably get Rogers. We'll get to our team discussion and I will showcase to you what I plan. Enzo I will keep for now. And Eze I would probably keep for now, or might sell him. I don't know. We'll discuss it, but yeah, Mateta, Thiago, and Votemare is some some trio that I really enjoy.
Yeah, those are probably like the 3 of the 4 best strikers in the game, I think,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
So, can't really go wrong there. Um, I think we just covered a lot of the things I did wanna mention. I actually just wanted to give a shout out to Minte from Brighton.
yeah.
He's actually the highest in terms of talismanic ownership. I think that's probably because he got a little bit lucky last week or the week before with like a fluky assist where it should have gone to I think somebody else. Like was it Rutter or Gomez?
Roter,
And
yeah, Roter.
yeah, so he got a little bit lucky with that, but he's still pretty high. Even if he hadn't got that, he would have been at like 30%. And like as we saw in the other tables, like Brighton have been a good attack and a good defense. Like they've just been mid-table in both categories. And like with the fixtures coming up, maybe we should just be buying Mente, right? Like at 6.0. The issue with him is like he has no roots to points, doesn't have corners, doesn't have free kicks, doesn't have pens. All he has is 90 minutes. Like he's an open play merchant,
Yeah.
but he's not too expensive. So curious to hear what you think of him.
I'm excited about him. I don't know if he's going to AFCON, by the way. I'm not aware. But I was deliberating about Welbeck, I'm not going to lie. And when comparing Welbeck to Thiago, who do you prefer in the next 4, for
Ooh.
example?
Damn. Well, if you go for Thiago, you have to bench him against Arsenal, right? So
Yes,
like
yes.
you would need like a good defender in game week 14. Like luckily for most people, Senesi has like Everton, I think, in that week, and Richards has Burnley. So if you've gone for like 2 of the best cheaper defenders, you're probably able to bench Thiago in that week.
And Newcastle
But
have
like
an easy
if you have
fixture,
to
by the way. Newcastle has an easy
in that
fixture as
week, yeah.
well. Yeah, in that week.
Yeah, so, like, let's say you were able to bench Thiago and then play Voltemade, then you're chilling. Like, I would definitely go Thiago, no worries. But, like, if you have to play him in the Arsenal fixture, then I wouldn't pick him.
No, I wouldn't have to play him, but what about Welbeck? He has been scoring the same amount of goals and he hasn't taken a penalty yet.
Yeah, so I was gonna say this, like, when you were thinking about Voltemade, I was like, "Alright, let me just bite my tongue here," but, like, there's a chance Welbeck could be a better pick than Thiago. Like, he plays for, like, I think the team that has a better attack. And then he hasn't taken a pen, whereas Thiago, his data actually has, I think, 2 pens
Yes,
included,
2
maybe
penalties.
3?
Yes, 2
2 penalties,
penalties.
right? 2
Yes.
penalties. Yeah, so I'm like, Welbeck probably plays for the better attack. The fixtures are at least just as good. The issue is that like Welbeck has injury risk, so managers like me who don't have an expensive bench like you can with El Salah and Holland, like we can't afford that risk if we have to play this guy as our 7th attacker. So, like, because of that, I just can't consider Welbeck. I don't trust him. But, like, in your position where, like, you can choose between Welbeck and Thiago and have Mateta as, like, your first striker, I think you're better off owning both and then rotating it with the fixtures. And, like, if that's not how you wanna play and you want Voltemade as a differential, then I think I would just go for Welbeck. But Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm opening one fixture difficulty rating. I don't know if you're seeing it on the screen as well.
Yeah, I
But
can see. I can
yeah,
see.
comparing Brentford and Brighton, they're above each other. Basically, both of them has a game against each other. So it's Brentford at home. One thing that is very interesting is the next 4 games, the only home fixture is against Burnley for Brentford, which is a lot. While Brighton has 3 home fixtures, which is a big deal in my opinion. The away fixtures are Arsenal and Spurs, and I'm not playing him here. Like against Spurs, maybe, but do I really want to play him? Probably not. So I can keep Brighton and Brentford. I can get, for example, Welbeck in game week 11, game week 12, sorry, and cover the, because Brentford, yes, they have been good defensively, but Brighton have been good offensively. So it kind of a little bit cancels out. I would prefer
Mhm.
to have to play Thiago here against Burnley. It's better fixture than Forest away in any sense. But then Aston Villa at home and West Ham at home, I prefer Welbeck all day. And then I can see myself selling Welbeck before Liverpool, Sunderland, and Arsenal, because those are 3 hard fixtures. 2 of them are away. Yes, Brighton have been scoring some goals, but realistically, Sunderland have been good. Liverpool have not been good, but might improve, and Arsenal have been amazing. While Brentford will play Leeds, Wolves, and Bournemouth. Like even Spurs, Everton, we've seen in the stats beforehand that Bournemouth, Spurs are not very high on the expected goals number. So I suspect that here in the from 16 to 19, there are 3 home fixtures to Brentford compared to 3 away to Brighton. So I think I can find a nice rotation between them here and just get Welbeck and then sell after West Ham and get Thiago with the 6 transfers, by the way, that we'll be having in 16.
I was actually looking at it the other way around, where like if you went for Thiago, right? Like let's say you go for the Brighton fixture, the Burnley fixture. If you can bench him in the Arsenal game, then I think Welbeck is better in 15, but
Yes,
then Thiago is better in 16, and then he's probably better in 17, even though it's away. Like Sunderland have been like a mid-table defense, and Wolves have been the worst one.
yes.
So I would still give the advantage to Thiago in 17. So like Thiago wins in 17, Thiago wins in 16, and in 15 I think it's close, but I would give the advantage to Welbeck there.
I
And
don't think
then
it's
in
close against
14,
West
if you
Ham.
can, yeah. So, but Spurs are bad though. But
Yeah,
and also West Ham is home too. So like you're right. So it would be like 16 is Thiago, 17 is Thiago, 15 is Welbeck, 14 it's Welbeck for sure.
yes.
But if you can bench him, then it's different, right? And then in 13 it's Thiago, and then let's just say 12 is even. Like let's just say it's call it even, right? Like the guys at home, so you give advantage to Welbeck. I still think it's advantage Thiago, and then like you have also like the Bournemouth game in 18, and then you can switch to Welbeck in 19 and 20. I think that makes a lot more sense. What do
So
you think?
my defense, if no injuries and no suspensions, in 14 will be as it follows: Arsenal for Gabriel, Senesi from Bournemouth, Gay versus Burnley, Burn against Spurs, and Cucurella against Chelsea. So I can play my 5 defenders in that week. Even if I have one injury, I would have the opportunity to bench Thiago against Arsenal. So yeah, that's better. I agree. Uh, do you prefer Thiago against Brighton or Welbeck against Brentford?
Man. I think I would take Welbeck.
But that's only one game where we will take them probably.
Yeah. Because like for example, like 13 is an easy win for
Yeah.
Brentford. Like I'm saying like Brentford versus Brighton. I'd rather be on the Brentford team, and then in 14, I would rather be on the Brighton team. Like it's really like the swing happens in 19 and 20 where I'm like, I think Welbeck would be the pick. Now, the counterpoint to that is that like I think game week 18, it's like 15, 16, 17, 18 are all midweek games. And, like, do you think Welbeck is gonna start in the midweek and the weekend when he's, like, pretty old
No,
now?
only game week 14 is midweek.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought game week 18 was midweek as well, because I was
Yeah,
or 19.
game week 18 and 19 are the festive period. So 18, 19, and 20, I don't know. Around Christmas there is always shenanigans. But
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
And Danny Welbeck is old. So
yeah,
he's like the perfect player for them to bench. And so like and because like I went to Danny Welbeck last season in game week 38 and the coach didn't even tell me he was injured. Apparently he was injured, not even included in like the 11 for the last week of the season.
yeah,
I was thinking, I'm like, the time I want to buy Welbeck over Thiago was in 19 and 20.
yeah.
But I don't even know if Welbeck will start both games.
But why do you prefer
That's
him?
the
He has
thing.
Spurs at home and Everton away. It's not like Thiago has the worst the fixtures that it's not a necessity to transfer him out, in my opinion, because
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that
yeah.
it's Sunderland compared to Man City. So
Yeah. Exactly, bro.
so probably
Exactly. So
Thiago is
because of
better for
that,
me.
yeah, exactly.
And
Like
then
I was actually thinking Welbeck for you, but like I am in the same position. I'm gonna go Thiago only because of X minutes. Like I know for sure he's gonna play 90 every game. Versus like Welbeck can just be dropped and I don't trust the coach. It's the same thing with Newcastle, bro.
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
benching Thiago at 14. So basically, I'm the only worst week that he has. I'm benching him. Like it's not even close. My defense is perfect for that run. So I think Thiago is the
Perfect.
answer. And when we look at
Perfect.
Newcastle, I'm planning to get them in 13 with Votemade here. And the run is not that bad, if you ask me. Everton, Spurs, Burnley, Sunderland and Chelsea and United are a bit meh, but here you can probably another player would have appeared in that. So I would still like Votemare here in that run after City. I think it's a good pick, and I think that he will surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be an excellent differential to own. And like, if Gordon ends up, getting benched or has like any sort of niggles like that. Remember last season he missed a period of time because he had a
Yeah.
niggle and then someone else was
Mm,
starting instead of him. And remember there was like a double game week for Newcastle and then
yeah.
Murphy went off and some people picked Gordon and they got destroyed. Like,
Yeah.
so like if there is a period like that and you own the striker in Voltamade and like all of the normal content creators believe he won't be on pens because Gordon should be on the pitch, but if Gordon just misses games, the Voltamade is an elite pick. Like you're buying into probably one of the better attacks relative to Brighton and Brentford. I think Newcastle's better than them on their day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. We have some people coming to the chat. Theo, hello, nice to see you, man. What do you believe about Mateta captain in Game Week 12? Probably he's going to be my captain in Game Week 12. If you ask me, I don't own Haaland, so I will be probably getting Mateta against Wolves. What do you think about this kanji? Is it risky
yeah,
or
and it's amazing. It's amazing. I
yeah,
mean, Crystal Palace to win or draw is already like in my bet slip.
yeah,
There's no doubt. The
yeah,
odds are crazy.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
but I
Amin is
expect
here.
Palace to pick up a win.
Yeah, me too. Amin is here as well. Hello, Amin. He's saying that Welbeck is not the focal point for Brighton, while Thiago is, which is a big thing. I know that Welbeck has been picking some goals, but he mentions that Minte and Ruter are operating in a similar position where Welbeck sometimes operates in, while for Brentford it's either Thiago or Share, but Share is more from the left. So I would say that Thiago is for sure the more focal point in that system.
Yeah, I thought about this last year where I was like, Bumo and Wissa are the focal points of the system, right? And then somehow Sade went out there, picked up a differential hat trick for owners
Yeah,
at the end of last season. So like he is somebody to consider if you had the money. I know a lot of people are considering like a five midfielder position, like five mids formation instead of like a three striker formation. Like you could consider instead of Minte going to Sade, but there's a little bit. I think it's 1.0 more expensive, and with neither of them being on pens, you would just pick Minte, right?
yeah. For me, but if I go Thiago, should I get Shade as well? Is it too much to double up on them?
I don't think it matters. Like, I honestly, bro, I was looking at it and I really want Sade for this run. Like, I wish I had the money to buy him instead of Minte, but I don't because like I've spent too much money on Van Dyke and Raya and Gabriel and all my defenders are 4.5s. Like I spread my money so thinly. I have good squad value. Like I think we mentioned it last time, but I'm almost at 103 now. So like I have good squad value, but I'm still don't have enough to get to Sade, and I'm so annoyed. I love the fixtures coming up, like the Spurs fixture, the Wolves fixture, the Leeds fixture, the Bournemouth fixture. Bro, he's going to eat in those runs, like
The
I'm
Burnley
sure.
one.
Yeah,
The
Brighton
issue,
is a good like high
yeah,
line too. You know,
the issue is that, okay, it's not an issue. Do you mind if we go to my team and share my
of course. Yeah,
worries?
go ahead, bro.
So this is my team, how we did with the bench boost. The Saka captain saved me, let's be real. Gay surprised me a lot by not playing, which is sad. Burn decided to get a red card, which destroyed my Newcastle hopes. And if you take a look at game week 10, I've got 22 points on the bench compared to my bench boost where I got 11. So I got 11 points less on my bench boost, considering, which is, yeah, the story of my season. But still, Saka captain moved me 1 million ranks up because people captained Gabriel, people still captained Haaland, many captained Chelsea assets, and I stick with Saka thanks to one of my it's my one of my regular viewers mentioned, no man, go for Saka, and I was like, on stream I decided to go on Saka, and thankfully Saka delivered. But yeah, looking at my team and speaking about it, this is the state of it. I don't know, you'll see it in a second, but I
Yeah.
have Burn red card, I have Paqueta suspended, I have Enzo doubtful, and I have Gay doubtful. The beauty of my team for next week is that I have Donnarumma against Newcastle away playing. That is a lock-in. I have Gabriel, Senesi and Cucurella playing, which I'm fine. Because Spurs at home for Arsenal, I'm never benching Gabriel, let's be real. West Ham for Senesi and Burnley for Cucurella. I think I'm fine with the three of them. So hands down, I don't care about Burn suspension. He wasn't going to play either way. Gay, it's a little bit annoying, but it was going to be Senesi or Gay. And I don't know if I would have preferred Gay against Wolves away. I might have still preferred Senesi, but I don't know about it. So defense is okay. I think I'm going to survive. Midfield, it's an interesting one. I have Saka, who is not going anywhere. And I have Cunha, who is not going anywhere. Those are the two locked positions. Enzo this week is not going anywhere as well. So I have them three. I think Enzo is playing. I just don't see a world where Enzo doesn't start. He has been playing on painkillers for the whole season, so I don't see a reason why he's not going to be playing next week on painkillers. And then up front, I have Mateta, Joao Pedro and Bowen. Joao Pedro versus Burnley away is staying, Mateta is staying. So I have now Paqueta, Bowen and Teze fighting for two positions. Bowen is going for sure for me this week, and I'm picking Thiago in that team. I think that's a lock for me. And now the question is, should I take out Eze for someone and play 3-4-3 without a bench? Or should I take out Paqueta and bench Eze? And have Eze as a bench cover? Because eventually I want to get out of Eze and get into Rice. Basically replacing them too. I want Rice to be, because Odegaard will return and so on and so on. I want Rice as my focal point there. And now the question is, should I sell Paqueta? And let's get, I was considering Rodgers, I'm not going to lie to you. Leeds, Wolves, Brighton. I think it's a nice 3-period of fixtures for them. I don't know what you think about Rodgers. He has 1 goal and 2 assists for the whole season, which is not enough. Or now we've discussed Sade, who has 3 goals and 2 assists. Comparing to them, he scored against Liverpool, he scored against Newcastle, assist against West Ham, assist against United, goal against Chelsea. So he's scoring against big teams, if you ask me. Liverpool, Newcastle, United, Chelsea, those are returns there. Of course, I got the famous Sunderland away game when I got him on my free hit and he missed a pen. So that was my favorite Shade moment of the season. But yeah, and now I'm considering selling Eze and just getting Shade in and just play the week. I don't know what to think
Yo,
about.
yo, your luck is so bad this year.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Yo, when it rains, it pours some years,
yeah,
bro. It's just
yeah,
so dumb. Like I know exactly how you feel. I
yeah.
think I think you're asking the right question. But before, like you kind of just brushed over this, and like I really want like to ask you this before I answer all your questions. Is like you are gonna go into a game where you have no Holland, you have no Salah, and you're also not gonna have double Arsenal defense. Are you sure that's the right move? Because like you could consider Calafiori, like Italy do qualify, right?
Italy and Saliba I can consider. They're basically the same price.
No, no,
Calafiori
forget,
is...
no, no, forget Saliba. No, I'm not a fan of that pick. I'd rather you owned Raya instead of him. But like Donnarumma is so good. Um,
Yeah, but
so
I
I'm
don't want to
thinking,
change
I'm
my
like,
defense, man. I don't think that the next two fixtures are ideal for Arsenal with Spurs and Chelsea. I just don't see it like appropriate position to be.
yeah, yeah, I know. Like you don't want to be buying them now. I get what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah. And my
Ah, it's
my
tough. It's tough, bro. You're in a tough spot. Like without double Arsenal fans and without Salah and without Holland, like you're just in trouble, bro. Like
yeah, but
like all of this stuff feels like at least like I'm trying to make sure you don't get hurt. So I'm like, is the right move to just get that second Arsenal defender in, so at least you can't get punished
no,
from
no.
them.
I'm
No?
still
Okay.
punishing, man. Everyone is punishing me, and at my rank, what was the most funny thing is, if you remember when Van de Ven scored the 2 goals 2 weeks ago, this is the thing that punished me the most because I'm in the ranks of the dead teams when they've left Van de Ven from first week, and when Salah, when if Haaland scores, I don't care. People around me don't have Haaland. It's people that own Van den Ven, people that own Bruno, people that own Salah that started on a very high ownership in the first couple of weeks that are just dead teams at the moment. And before Van den Ven, I was like 1.5 million green arrow, and after him, I was 400k places up from. He
Wow.
dropped me a million ranks below because there are 32% still owning him. If we take a look, Van den Ven is owned by 33.3% of the game, and guess which percentage I'm at? I'm exactly, he's like 100 effective ownership against me. So I'm not afraid of double Arsenal
Wow.
defense. I'm not afraid of Semenyo. I'm not afraid of Haaland. These people are just not punishing me. People that are owned from game week 1 are the people punishing me. So I'm not
Okay. Okay.
I'm not that against. And what I want to pivot your
Yeah.
direction in is game week 13. Arsenal and Chelsea face off against each other. So I still own 3 Chelsea players and 2 Arsenal players. Gabriel and Saka not going anywhere. I want to sell Joao Pedro for Votemare in that week. I think that's a move that I would be making. Everton away, I think it's an ideal spot to make. And then what I'm considering is keeping Enzo because he has a run of Arsenal, but then it's Leeds, then it's Bournemouth, but then it's Everton, then it's Newcastle, but then it's Aston Villa. So he has one fixture where I can play him, one where I bench him. So I can interchange him. And where I think I find a good rotation is with Manchester City's Cherky. I don't know what to think about him and his minutes, but I cannot afford anyone apart from him or Foden in my team because they are the only French and English attackers that they have. Savinho is Brazilian, but he's not playing. So it's either going to be picking Foden over someone like Paqueta and selling Paqueta and Pedro next week to get Foden slash Votemare, but then I would prefer to bench Foden. No, I wouldn't prefer bench Foden because in 14 I have to play someone over Shade and Thiago, so I have to play 5-3-2. So I'll have to play my City and Chelsea attackers, which is fine, or just keep Thiago in the team in a 3-4-3 in a 4-4-2. No, I'm making a mistake. So 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. 6. I can play 4-4-2 if I have Foden and Enzo in my team. But the other option is just to get Cherky. I don't know what you think about it. But starting with Shade and Thiago this week, and then game week
Yeah.
13 selling Paquetá and Pedro to Votemade, and then selling to, let's say, Cherky. I can afford Foden, by the way. So
Mhm.
it doesn't matter for me. And I think I'm in a good position to own a City attacker, to own double Brentford, which seems a little bit sketchy, but as we've seen, they've been scoring some goals. And I think I'm in an interesting position. Or I just go for Cherky and I just consider that he's going to be benched, rotated, whatever you want to call it, and we go as it is. But he has been playing good, to be fair.
Okay, so let's do one thing at a time, right?
Yes,
Like,
okay.
if we imagine your team, right? Like, can you take Enzo, Sade, João Pedro, just keep Mateta and Thiago. Take out everyone else from like your actual FPL team on your transfers. Mateta, Thiago, Saka, and Cunha. Take out all the other attackers.
So
Keep the
Mateta,
defense.
Mateta, Thiago, João Pedro is out,
Mhm.
Paquetá is out, Eze is out. And do I take him out or not, in your
Yeah,
opinion?
take him out. Take him out. Take him out. I just
Okay,
want to see how it looks.
okay,
So now, okay. So like the clear mid that he is missing is Bruno, right? So like he's the clear one, but you can't get there.
yes,
So the number one alternative to Bruno, it's actually Phil Foden. And like the reason I'm gonna say like he's the pick almost guaranteed for you was like you wanted to prioritize 90 minutes plus penalties, right?
yes, always.
Now Voltamade doesn't have that. Gordon doesn't have that. Foden doesn't have that. Most of the other mids in the game don't have like Ndiaye might be one of the few ones that
But I
has
cannot
that,
get
right?
them.
Like yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So all of these players that I mentioned, like you can't even get them. But Foden is the one where like he like okay, let me put it like this. Even for me, like where I like for you, price doesn't matter, right?
Yes,
Basically, because you don't have
yes.
Salah and Holland. Money is you're rich, bro. You know, like
Yeah,
buy
yeah, I'm
anyone
rich.
really, as long as they fit your rules. And I think Foden is the one where like he has a historical record of outperforming his XG. I was literally looking at Foden's stats before we called because I was considering him for my own team. And if you look at it in like the last few seasons, his non-pen XGI was 0.66, 0.52, 0.6, 0.5. This is per 90 non-pen XG plus XA. This year he's at zero point 0.3, which is poor. But then when you look at his Champions League stats, it's at 0.57.
Yeah,
So like people can argue like in the Premier League, oh, it's poor. But in the Champions League, he's shown more than enough. So I think in the easy fixtures in the Prem, Foden's gonna come to the forefront and he's gonna remind us of why he basically single-handedly, it was him, Holland, and Rodri brought Man City a title, really. Right. And then even before Holland came, Foden was the striker for Man City for a period of time. So like he's the number one differential to fly up the ranks. The reason why I am saying this with such confidence is that we have an elite manager. His name is Ben Crellin, arguably the best FPL manager of all time. He hasn't owned Semenyo all season, and he's owned Foden in that position. And I think if you can't get to a Semenyo in your structure, then I think Foden should be your number one differential, like almost like without doubt. Like in my mind, I would have thought Gordon and Bruno would have been better picks, but Gordon's minutes have been questionable,
yeah.
and Bruno you can't get to because of the rules. So do you agree that like Foden kind of makes sense in your
Yeah, but
structure?
doesn't it make sense from game week 13 onwards?
Yes, exactly. But like just for now, I just want to see like what I guess price point isn't an issue for you. But yeah,
No.
definitely Foden in for 13 and like keep him in for the rest of the season. Like assuming his
But
minutes stay strong.
do you think
Like yeah.
Marmoush take off his minutes? Or you think now that
So
Guardiola believes more in Foden?
So I look at it like, okay, I'm not the best Man City expert. There are probably other people that have better read on the X minutes than I do. I'll preface that, but I will say, I think Doku and Marmoush are going to be sharing minutes on the left wing, and I
Okay.
think Savinho and someone else will share minutes on the right
And
wing. I think
Cherk,
Foden
yes.
yeah. So I think Foden is like the nailed man in the team in the midfield. I think Bernardo can take minutes in the center mid position. He can take minutes in the right wing position. Reinders can take minutes. Turkey can take minutes. But Foden is gonna if Man City win the league this year, it's gonna be because of Holland and Foden. I'm so confident. Like Foden has been one of the best players. Like in terms of XG over performance, he's ridiculous, bro. Like let me pull up his stats. So he had so last season he had 5 XG, 7 goals. The year before that, 10 XG, 19 goals. The year before that, 6 XG, 11 goals.
Yeah, he's
Like
scoring.
this guy is like, yeah, and it's not like when he gets into a position where he has point 0.5 XG, he's gonna score. Like it's like Bowen and Foden and Son, like we're just used to them
Yeah,
overperforming. So like when all you have to worry about with those types of players is X minutes. And like if you have the X minutes, you should definitely be considering them. So I think for you, it's a lock. Like he would be that absolute lock as like my force attacker
yeah.
long term.
I would agree. I would like
Um,
Foden as well, especially over Rogers,
yeah.
who has been struggling.
Yeah. So like then the next question is like Sade versus like Minte, right? Like money isn't an issue for you.
Minte is
Um,
not an option for me.
oh, he doesn't even qualify. Okay, so Sade is easy. Like that's easy, bro.
But Shade or Rogers for the next 2-3 fixtures.
Yeah. Well, what do the tables say about like XG and talismanic percentage? Can we see like is one player more talismanic or is one team's XG better in the last few slides?
So if we take a look, it will take some time to open on the stream because of the lag. But so looking at Brentford, Shade is on 29%, while Aston Villa is on 20, Rogers is on 23, but Brentford have scored 17, Aston Villa have scored 13. You are seeing it at the moment. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, but on the other hand, if we take a look at the fixtures, Aston Villa has Leeds away and Wolves at home. It doesn't get better than this, honestly, in the next two. But then they have Brighton and Arsenal, while Brentford have Arsenal and Spurs. So if I get Shade, I'm benching him against Arsenal and playing him against Brighton and Burnley. While I can keep Rodgers for Leeds, Wolves, and Brighton and sell before Arsenal and get Shade then for Spurs, Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth, Spurs, Everton, so on, so on, so on. So I can move if I showcase you the fixture difficulty rating. I can move to Rodgers this week, play against Leeds, Wolves, and Brighton safely, and then sell to Shade and play
Yeah.
Shade to Spurs, Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth, etc., etc. The issue is that I will still have Enzo in my team, probably because I don't want to waste transfer there, and I would probably want to play him in game week 14, and I would probably want to bench Rogers in that week, or no, I'm benching Thiago and I'm playing 3 of my defenders. So yeah, I don't know if I should go Shade now and bench in 14 over for Enzo, or just pick Rogers up until 15 and then move to Shade directly for the easier run. Because I would have Thiago for Burnley and Brighton as well. It's not like I'm playing without
Yeah.
them.
Of course, of course. I was actually thinking like Enzo would just become Foden because like you can wait that 1 week with Enzo and move to Foden from there, you know?
But I'm going to move Paqueta to Foden, or I should keep Paqueta over Enzo.
Yeah, I was thinking you would. I was thinking you could just get rid of Paqueta and go to Rogers.
But I'm getting rid of Eze to get to Rogers.
Hmm.
What about Eze?
Yeah.
Because from game week probably 14, I want to get Rice in. Brentford, Aston Villa, Wolves, Everton, Brighton. I want to have Rice in that run.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. That's really tricky, bro. I think if we have Eze versus Spurs, it depends on like I guess surely Odegaard would be back, and if he's not back, I would keep like if Eze is sorry, if Odegaard is not back, I would keep Eze for sure. Because people are even considering captaining Saka this week. Like genuinely, people are going to consider captaining Saka. I think Let's Talk FPL is captaining Saka. I think FPL Fran is captaining Saka. Now we'll wait to see what they do later on, but I think that's what people will do. So
Yeah,
you
but
have like the number one differential if the minutes are there, right?
so if I do that, by the way, I would play this week Saka and Sukunya. And if I don't sell Eze, I don't need Rogers. Because I would play Thiago, Mateta, Joao Pedro up front, and I play Cunha, Eze, Enzo, and Saka. That's why I'm looking to sell Eze, because the fixture is not there. Well, for Rogers, it is. Like, literally, it cannot get better than this. So
I think what you should do is just like, do you have the money to just do Paqueta to Rogers? Do you have the money for it?
yes.
Okay, just do that. And then I think what you can do is you can just bench as a first bench. And then like if we get news that Enzo is out, you can just move him to the bench and you have Eze
Yeah,
in your set.
so I will keep, let's say, Enzo, I would keep for now. I think Enzo for now is a lock in my team. I don't want to sell him because I think that he can get interesting points against Leeds, against Everton when the fixtures are easier. I still believe that he can get in those tight spaces. And I get here, as we mentioned, Rogers. I think Rogers is a nice pick to move into that place. But then the question is, do I sell Enzo for Foden? Because let's say I keep Eze here and I keep Joao Pedro in the team. That's the team for game week 12. I have Saka, Enzo, Eze, Cunha, Rogers with Eze first bench. And I have Joao Pedro, Mateta, Thiago in up front. I'm benching Eze. Then next week it's Chelsea versus Arsenal. So I would probably sell Eze or Enzo. And so Joao Pedro is gone for Votemare. For me, Votemare is the move that I would make. I like him. I don't know what it's your opinion about him, but I think he scores goals. And as you mentioned, Gordon will be rotated. And I think that Votemare will get some odd penalty here and there. That's my opinion about him. So, and I want to own someone for that run for Newcastle. So Votemare is in. That would mean that in order to afford Foden, no, I can sell whoever the hell I want. I can keep Eze in my team. But he will be once again benched, and I don't prefer to bench 7.6 players because this blocks my Arsenal move. Because if I want to go double Arsenal defense, Eze is in its way, is on the way to do that. So I would probably keep Enzo. I will sell Eze for Foden in game week 13. And I think we are sorted, and then we move forward. And I plan to sell Rogers to Shade and bring a third Arsenal player at some point. And we're in the money. I play a 3-5-2 with, by the way, in 14, I will have Saka versus Brentford, Rogers versus Brighton. I would have Enzo versus Leeds, Mateta versus Burnley, Foden versus Fulham, and Votemar against Spurs. I think I have a nice road to 14. So probably this week I'm bringing Rogers and Thiago, as was the plan, over Paqueta and Bowen. They have been atrocious, by the way. And yeah, I'm then moving one of Enzo Eze to Foden and Votemare over to Pedro. And I will be playing up until 16, probably like that, and probably will sell Rogers. Maybe I can sell Rogers to Rice and just get Rice over him if that's the play, or just sell one of my defenders to Calafiori if that's the play, and I think I'm okay. So yeah, we've got.
I think makes sense. I think you're right. The only thing I want to mention is like I think Foden is like a perma play for you. Like Foden, Cunha, Saka, Thiago, Mateta, like those five should be perma plays, right?
Who you said? Saka, Foden, Thiago Mateta, and Cunha.
Yeah.
Or no Cunha. So Roger, Sensu, Votemare are the guys that might not play.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that fair? Because like that way you're getting coverage into like everything except Liverpool and Chelsea, and you can have the Chelsea coverage with Enzo when you want it.
Yeah, exactly. And of
And
course,
also like if Palmer ever gets like an injury or a niggle or he's ever benched, like Enzo becomes one of the best picks. Even when Reece James is benched, Enzo becomes one of the best picks. Like I really like that Enzo pick.
Yeah. And I'm not Liverpool, but as Amin suggested, I can go for McAllister. Not a big fan at the moment, sadly. Wirtz and Tiki Tiki are there, but neither of their minutes are secured. So if I'm risking the minutes, I might go to Foden. I prefer Foden at the moment over Wirtz. So, yeah, I think that's the play.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I think
about
you've
you,
cracked
man?
it for sure.
You've got an interesting
Uh,
site on the
do
screen.
you do you wanna pull up my team?
I put it up. It
Okay.
will just
Okay.
reflect in a couple of seconds.
No worries. Or is this looking at my free hit team, or is this looking
No,
at
the
my
week
from my
before.
team the week
Yeah,
before?
I opened it on the
Perfect.
week
Okay. Yeah.
before.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think I should do? I still have Gyökeres in my team.
So, how many transfers you have free?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, so you have Raya, that's a lock. You have Virgil, that's a lock. You have Gabriel and Richards. Your defense is pretty sound for next week. Fulham plays Sunderland. I can end Bournemouth play West Ham. So you can play 5 defenders. Yeah,
Yeah.
realistically, your defense is pretty good. But I would prioritize Gabriel, Virgil, and Richards, in my opinion. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but yeah, Raya is a double defense from Arsenal, but I think it's worth it. For me, those three are a lock. You already have Bruno, Semenyo, Soboswai, and Tendai. I don't think you should be doing anything in that regard. And you have Gyökeres and Haaland and Paqueta. So Paqueta and Gyökeres are out. So realistically, you can play 5-4-1 and you'll be fine. But I would
Mhm.
be selling Gyökeres, in my opinion, and I would be getting Thiago. That's the play that enables a lot of the options for you. You have Krupi as a backup option. Paqueta is not a bad fifth midfielder, even though he's missing a lot of chances. You can easily move to him from him to Minte. It's easy money. You don't have Mateta, by the way, which is
Mm.
I may go
So
to
that's the
Mateta.
decision.
I might go to
Yeah,
Mateta,
so
man.
that's the decision point, right? So I have Mateta there, I have Thiago there, and I have Saka there. Like I want to have like two of these three picks. And I think Saka for me is the lock because, like, if you just look at game week 16, that is like the guaranteed week, or not guaranteed, that is the 100% sure week I won't captain Holland. Like, ideally, wouldn't want to captain Holland in 12 or 16,
Yeah,
but in the other weeks, I don't care. I'm very happy to just captain him. Like, he's operating at such a high level, I don't mind. But it's like 12 and 16, I'm happy to back against him. And I went against him last week. It actually kind of paid off, only 4 points. This week, I really wanted a captaincy option, but and I know Bruno has his most goals and assists of any team against Everton, but I really don't want to do it. Like almost everyone in my mini league doesn't own Bruno. Like I'm happy to just
yeah.
own him and enjoy those differential points. So like I was thinking in terms of captaincy, it would actually be Saka or Mateta this week, and I don't own either of them. So I think I should just bring Mateta in and captain him, but if I look to play smarter long term, if I go for Mateta, then I can't really get to Saka, I don't have the money.
Yeah,
So,
that's the
like,
issue.
it kinda makes sense to go, like, Thiago, Saka, and then the problem is, like, I'm losing captaincy points this week for sure. I don't think Haaland scores,
Just
but
Captain Haaland. You're not losing
just
that
count.
many against the other players. A lot of people are still going to Captain Haaland. A lot of
Yeah, no
them.
one in my mini league owns Saka. So, I think most people will be in my mini league on Mateta captain, I think. If not, there'll probably just be Sheeps and Captain Holland like I will this week.
It's
But
not a
if I
big
had
deal.
Mateta,
It's not optimal, but it's not a big deal. It's still Haaland. It's still 1 xg non-penalty per game. So and still he outscores his xg regularly. So I don't think it's
yeah,
that
he's
big of a
ridiculous.
miss. If you are planning to get
Yeah,
to Saka, it's Thiago then, and probably the plan is to move Paqueta to Saka or Ndai to Saka.
yes. Yeah, Paqueta to Saka.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
playing, man. Game
So
week 14.
here's the next question. Here's the next question, bro. Would you -4 to put Saka in the team? Like you mentioned earlier, like my defense is stacked. Like Richards versus Wolves, Anderson versus Sunderland, Senesi versus West Ham. Like I even have Ndiaye on the bench at the moment because like my whole defense is so good. They're guaranteed 4 points, either def cons or clean sheets. Like my defense is cooking. So like, is it worth a -4 to bench one of those guys to bring Saka in, or
Only
do you
if you
think I'm better
captain
off
him.
just waiting?
only if you captain him.
So that's the thing. Like if Fran and let's like if Taylor are captaining him, and like if we looked at the data, right? Like Spurs were in the bottom five or bottom six for XGC. Saka has an incredible record versus Tottenham.
Yeah.
So it's so tempting. Like I could -4, bring Saka in, captain him, but that could also backfire completely. So
If I'm
I
in
don't know. I'm
your
curious to hear
position,
what would you do?
I'm getting Thiago and I'm captaining Haaland. And I think that's
Yeah.
the. I know that Saka can hurt a lot if he scores a lot against Spurs, but I think that people that own Saka, Haaland, and Mateta, he is the third captain option for them. I would still prefer Haaland and Mateta as captains that week because as good as Saka has been on the eye test, he hasn't delivered. And the way that he's fighting back for those defensive contributions, it's hurting his attacking appeal. I don't see Haaland or Semenyo in those high defensive contributions number because their strength is focused on that attacking output. While Endai, when he fails to score, as you mentioned, he's getting those defcons because he's running like hell. And Saka is running like hell, and I know that he's their best player by far in my opinion. But still, I would say just everything can happen in that London derby. It can be Spurs locking it up with under Thomas Frank because Thomas Frank knows how to just put the defense in order and how to play it. Or it can be a shit show and they can score 10 goals in that game. It's one or the other. But for me, the safer option for you is just to play Thiago, Captain Haaland, play in a 4-4-2 maybe, or even. Are you playing in a 4-4-2 or in a 5-3-2?
Yeah, 5-3-2 at the moment.
I
Yeah,
would I would play
it's
the
crazy.
penalty taker against United.
Yeah. So I actually agree with you, by the way. I've already I know I didn't mention this to you, so it's so nice that you've said what I was thinking. Even though you're gonna captain Mateta, like I want Thiago long term. Like
Yeah,
he was I think I've been monitoring him since game week 1. I was like, why is he like so high in like review, like FPL review and hub, but they always has predicted points so high. I'm like, what the hell? And I was considering Brentford were gonna get relegated in
yeah, me
preseason.
too,
That's what I
me
was
too.
genuinely
Yeah,
thinking. But like over the season, he's sort of come to the forefront. Like his minutes weren't that great. He's grown in the team. He's grown in terms of the importance. He's become the talisman. You can see it. And now even Sade missed the pen, so now he's guaranteed pens now. So and Sade scored from open play, so there's no need for him to get a pity penalty either. So I'm looking at it like Thiago is just like a lock. So like
yeah,
I go to Thiago at the cheap price point, I can almost keep him the entire season.
yeah,
Like there's like a 3 or 4 week window where he plays like Aston Villa, Newcastle, Forest, Chelsea, I think. And at that time, Chelsea's fixtures are gorgeous. So I can move from him to João Pedro for a few weeks, then just move back to him. Like I've looked at it and I'm kind of locked on the Thiago pick. So then you're right. It's like I don't know if Saka is worth a -4. I haven't taken a hit all year.
don't
My
know.
goal was to actually go through this season without taking a hit. Like, I genuinely was trying to go through the season without taking a hit. Bro, let me tell you the amount of hits that I've taken in the past few years, because I write down everything in terms of my hits, my bench boost points every season, my triple captain points. Bro, I took 25 hits 4 years ago. I
Yeah,
took 14 hits 3 years ago. I took 16 hits 2 years ago. I took 8 hits last year, and this year I'm really trying to be under 5. Like, that's my goal.
yep,
So, like, I'm just trying to reduce it, and I don't I do think Saka is the player I would want, and, like, if we didn't have 5 free transfers come game week 16, I think I would take the hit because, like, I would really want him, and, like, I don't care about the price rises. I have point 0.3 or point 0.4 in the bank on the price rises, so, like, I don't mind like, Saka moving in price, but I know if I didn't have the 5 free transfers later, I would wanna move to him and be aggressive because I want him, but I think because I have the 5 frees later, I don't need to worry too much about transfers, that I'm happy to just wait a week. So I think you're right, and I'm gonna do what you said. I've already done the move, by the way. I've sold Gyökeres to Thiago. I think it was on the Saturday. This was even before Thiago even played on the Sunday. Very risky, but that was the day that Thiago went up in price from 6.2 to 6.3, or either 6.1 to 6.2, whatever it was. So I went early. I already own Thiago, by the way, so I have all this money in the bank. There's like 4 million in the bank.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Uh,
yeah. But don't
but yeah,
bench
so
and
so I
die,
guess like,
man. As you've seen,
huh?
and don't bench and die, in my opinion. It's not worth over the defender. The PO that and die has against United that are conceding goals for fun. They don't have a reliable left back, and Dai can make a fun out of that left back spot in United. I would say that Ndai, if you have him, play him. It's not worth over Anderson or Senesi because Anderson plays against Sunderland. Sunderland scored 2 against Arsenal. So I would say that they're pretty good at scoring some goals here and there.
Yeah,
So
there's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt. Like Anderson's on my bench for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
There's no doubt. So it's about like if I go with 4-4-2, then it would be like Gabriel, Senesi, Richards, Virgil, and then Semenyo, Ndiaye, Szoboszlai, Bruno, and then Thiago
yeah,
Holland.
that's the
I think
play.
that's the play. I just
Yeah.
bench Anderson. But like, yo, this is like if you look at my team on like all the algorithms like review and hub, they're prioritizing Joachim Anderson's projected points higher than Richards, higher than Ndiaye. Like that's how much they really like this Anderson pick this week.
Yeah, but I think that Fulham has been shit, to be fair. If you take a look at Anderson, apart from the week where you got the 6 points, it's only in game week 4 that he has more than 4, which I don't agree with. Okay, he missed one fixture and got subbed off at the other, but yeah, he has been getting defcons all the time, but they have not been getting clean sheets, man. So still the bread and butter for defenders is the clean sheet, and that's why Richards it's so good because he gets defcons, but he gets clean sheets as well. So I agree that the ceiling, the floor is high, but you don't play FPO to have a nice floor, man. You play because you want to see your players score goals. And T. Anderson can go next week and score 2 goals from corner kicks, and I will be looking like an idiot. So yeah, but I still prefer the penalty taker playing against the second or third worst defense in the league for expected goals conceded. And I know
Yeah. Yeah, you know
uh,
what? I agree, bro. I don't want to argue against you.
it's a
I
way.
genuinely
It's a
think you're
way.
right. Like this is where like you kind of like you have your team and you have to make your decision, right?
Yeah,
And like we saw how poor United's data is. They're going to
yeah,
concede on the counter attack. I'm sure they
exactly.
will. So like you assume it's going to be NGI or Grealish will be involved. So I'm pretty sure there's like a 50% chance that he's getting a goal or an assist, in my opinion.
And then
And
Dai
then
will probably
it's
get the
about like
defensive contributions against United.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like he's so good. Like I don't give Fulham a 50% chance of getting like a clean sheet or a goal or an assist. I don't think so. I think Sunderland are probably going to score in the game. Like
Yeah,
you mentioned, Fulham are bad. Yeah, that's my team for the week. I will tell you, like so far this season, I don't want to say I've been lucky, but I've genuinely been on the right side of variance. Like I haven't even owned that many good differentials, honestly. Like I haven't. Like I've owned Virgil for all of his bad runs. Like my team isn't
yeah.
perfect, but like I really like where I'm at right now, apart from Saka. Once Saka comes in, my team will be almost complete. Because then it's like now I can start considering, okay, should I bring Foden in to the NDI spot and downgrade Virgil if Liverpool are underwhelming? Or do I just continue with my structure, keep Virgil all the way through until 18-19, which I probably will do, to be honest, because I'm a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where my mind is. But I will say this is the first week all season where I feel like suboptimal because I have 4 million in the bank. Most people's other teams will look better than mine. I've always had, like, good team value. I'm usually at, like, 102 when everyone's at 101, or I'm at 103 when other people are at 102, but I'm gonna have 4 mil in the bank. So, like, I'm gonna be, like, suboptimal to everyone else this week, but hopefully my defenders can deliver.
I still disagree because money this year, as we've seen, a lot of people just don't spend it. Like there isn't an expensive player that apart from Saka and Haaland that people want to own. Like there isn't a striker over 8 million that anyone apart from Haaland wants to own. There isn't a midfielder over 8.5. I think Bruno is 9, right? Because I haven't
Yeah.
looked. Okay, he's almost 9. Let's say over 9. There isn't apart from Saka anyone that's in the game consideration. Like there isn't a place where people are spending their money this season. So I would say that having those 4 million for next week, it's completely fine. Like even you can delay the Saka transfer one more week and you'll be fine. you just need a coverage for Thiago in game week 14, and that's going to be Saka probably, or one of their defenders. But
Yeah,
still,
so Senesi and Richards both have a good fixture in 14,
yeah,
but 14 is a midweek, so there's a chance Richards is just benched.
no,
Like worst case
they're not.
scenario,
They're
if
not
Richards
benching.
doesn't play,
They're
like
not benching anyone. This Powers team has 13 fit players, and they're playing them every week. Every week, we still think that they're going to rotate, and they play the same 11 over and over and over again. So no, I
yeah,
disagree strongly that he's not getting rotated, especially in the
I
Prem.
hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
And Fulham
Yeah.
has City. Yeah, it's shit fixture, but yeah, you have Saka by then. And I don't know if Krupi plays or not, by the way, because Krupi has been better than Evanilson this year.
Yeah, exactly. So like when people were considering going to like Joao Pedro or Marshall, or sorry, people are considering Mark Gui or Marshall or Obi, these 4.4 or less strikers, like I think it was pretty clear to own Krupi. Now I don't want to
Yeah,
like like say, oh, like if you like right now, I think it's easier to just spend a little bit less in that spot, save point 2 or point 3. But the potential of what Krupi Jr. can be is worth point 2 or point 3. Because like if Ivan Nilsson is out at any point in this season, or even if Ivan Nilsson continues his poor form, Krupi could just take the starting role. Like he's been so good for them.
yeah. I started the season with Krupi this year over Gui, but of course I owned
Wow.
him for when he was not on the field, and when he started scoring, I didn't have him. But yeah, that's another variance that I ended on the wrong side of. But let's not amuse
We don't
ourselves.
like yo Envy. I would say like your season, like just following along and watching your videos, joining your live streams on the deadline. Like you've actually been unlucky because
Yeah,
like if, I'll give you an example. Like I didn't own Krupi all year. I brought him in for a week when Evan Nilsson was out. I started him. He got me a goal, and like
yeah,
you owned this guy the whole pretty much like at the beginning part of the season. Like you
yeah,
made the right choice picking him over someone else, and it just didn't pay off for whatever reason. It's like it's just another example of how unlucky you've been. Like
yeah,
even some of the captaincies, like Holland has just been, he's just been insane, bro.
yeah.
Like I don't know
True,
what to
true.
say.
This is the first week I think where I got a double digit from my captain, probably, or the second. It's in game
Wow.
week 11. So yeah, you can see without having Haaland, it's just difficult to captain someone reliable. That's the issue. And but since my wild card, I'm 2 million places up. So probably after my next moves, I can enter the top 5 million before Christmas. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Would you rather be? Do you think FPL is more fun when you're in your position or when you're in my position? What do you think? Like going
in
forward into
your
the next
position,
weeks,
in your
you think it's
position,
more
yeah,
fun to be in
yeah.
my spot?
I
Hmm.
don't want anyone to be in my position when you have to pick from 50% of the players of the game that are just not returning. Because if you take a look at my team, I, for example, wanted to get Caicedo way more than Enzo. I couldn't do it. I wanted to get let me open the transfer market. I wanted to get Semenyo for the whole year. I couldn't. I wanted Mbumo over Cunha. I couldn't. And Dai, as you mentioned, is someone that I couldn't bring in. And if we go to defenders, Munoz is a defender that I admire a lot. I cannot get him, and that's hurting me a lot from the forwards. The forwards have been okay apart from Haaland, but I cannot tell you it's okay when I don't own Haaland. So realistically, if I
Hmm.
was in my position without any restrictions, yes, it would have been fun to chase. But now it's just I'm praying every week that Van den Ven doesn't score a goal, or I'm praying every week that Salah blanks, which is awful to say, but I prefer Liverpool to win without Salah scoring because Salah will hurt me massively. So
Yeah,
it's these
I feel
things
you.
that get in the way of having fun. And of course, I prefer um, your position because you're in the top 300k, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, almost there. And I think you're in a good run to finish in the top 10k. That position is pretty strong because you have the money, you have the structure, and I think you have the plan. So I
Thanks,
prefer
bro.
to be in your
I do.
position.
I do. I was gonna say the opposite. Like, if you had like, if you didn't have the rules that you have of like, oh, like no Holland, no Salah, only teams that have won the World Cup. Like, if you didn't have that in place, I think like if I had to start from where I am versus where you are, I would prefer yours because like
Yeah,
almost every single week you should get a green arrow.
of
Like
course.
I
Yes.
think like 9 of the next 10 weeks you should end up with a green arrow. The problem is like Holland's EO is so damn high.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have these rules and you could put Holland in, you would probably get a green arrow every week.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
because like you have to battle against Holland for captaincy, like you're really in trouble in like almost every week because no one is on his level. He's like operating like a god in the Premier League this
Yep.
year, just like Salah was last year, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm betting against the winning horse every time. Like, and last week it paid off. I got 8 points more from Saka comparing to him, but it's not going to happen every
Yeah.
week.
I know, I know. Well, I think there was something like if you look at the player that scored the most points in every week, Holland wasn't even there once.
Yeah. The issue is that,
So like there is hope. There is hope.
yeah, there is always hope, but the issue is that most of the players I still cannot get to. Let me open the Fantasy Premier League and let's look at the players. What happened? My PC froze. Okay, it's not frozen anymore. The players with the most points, where I can see them. What the hell happened here?
I don't know what's going on.
I logged out. Okay, okay. So Gusto, it was surprising, but I got Saka here. This guy Gomez, I couldn't get him. Van den Ven, I couldn't. Rich James, I could have. But yeah, Semenyo, I can't. Alderete, I can't. Stash, I could. So yeah, 50% of the time I could go to that player. But am I getting Bauer, Gay, Zubimendi, Stash in my team? Probably not. Like Gay, yes, but the other guys, like I'm able to get, no. So yeah, it's tough. It's been tough, but as you mentioned, there is no Haaland, there is no City player here at all, there is no Liverpool player here at all. So yeah, there is a chance. There's also always a chance to happen.
What if I said something that like, what if you considered playing like four at the back? Like if you look at all of these assets like Ballard, Timber, Gehi, Alderete, Reece James, Van de Ven, Gusto, they're almost always defenders.
Yes, the issue is that if they're not getting those points, if we compare, for example, let's go to, if I don't get this week correctly, Gusto is on a generational stinker sometimes. 0 points, not playing at all. Brighton,
Yeah,
then you go to Van den Ven, 1-2-0-2-2-1-1. Like he has those weeks. If we go to Reece James, one, then he's not playing again. Then you got 4-3-4. Like if I don't get the correct decision, Alderete, it's he's injured. Okay, that's not the correct example of that. Gay is okay. Yes, Gay, I agree. Bauer, yeah, sometimes he gets a goal, sometimes he doesn't, and he's on 4-2-3-1-1-0-0-1. So defenders are good when they return, but at the moment that they're blanking, it's just shit. While they, I thought about the same, but when I looked at it, I cannot say a defender that's getting regular points apart from Gabriel, and I have Gabriel. So yeah, that's the issue here.
um,
But I agree
I
with you.
know
What
what you
I
mean.
think I would Foden, I would chase. I think some weeks I might captain Foden, which sounds crazy, but why the hell not? Leeds at home is a very good fixture where I might look at, say, yeah, that's a nice captain. My triple captain, by the way, we haven't discussed it. I think I'm going Saka versus Wolves. I think
Damn.
that's my triple captain this year.
Yeah, I think that's a great shout.
Yeah,
Bro, he's like in 14 when there's the week to bet against Holland, I'm open to captaincy. Like Bruno has West Ham at home. I think Saka has Brentford at home, I
yeah,
think. It might be away, I'm not sure. But I don't really like it because like it's not a slam dunk.
yeah,
Like Bruno is never a slam dunk over Holland. Like he just isn't.
yeah.
Even though he has all these routes to points, he's never going to be as explosive. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm I'm not really comfortable with 14 captaincy, but 16 is just a lock, bro. Like
Yeah,
Saka is a lock, man. Wolves are terrible. Saka has a good record versus them. I remember a year ago or 2 years ago, it was like Arsenal played Wolves on the final day. I went to Odegaard and I knew I wanted Saka. I just couldn't afford it. And then of course, guess who scored? Bukayo Saka.
yeah,
So, like it's one of those where like I want Saka in that week. I'm gonna captain him, no doubt.
yeah. I'm
I
triple
love that
captain
week.
him that week if he's fit. If not, it's Gabriel triple captains and just whatever happens, happens.
So, like, I guess my last question to you before we end the stream is like, are you sure you want to go into the season without double Arsenal defense? Like, are you sure? Because
Next
like
two
you also
weeks,
don't have Salah, you don't like
next two
think
week,
about like
yes.
FPL in general. Like you're backing against Erling Haaland, you're backing against Mo Salah, you're backing against the main captaincy, right? You're backing against Arsenal defense. Only one is backing against them. This isn't the time to buy them, but like I don't know when the next good fixture run starts for Arsenal because like I already own it, I have no plan to sell. But like I would just suggest like at least consider it
Yeah,
at some point when you have transfers.
from game week 14, they have Brentford, Aston Villa, Wolves, Everton, Brighton, Aston Villa, Bournemouth. I think that's the period where I might consider. The issue is that, as you mentioned, there are a lot of fixtures stacking up, especially around game week 14 and game week 15 are 3 days apart. So Calafiore might be rotated with Luis Kelly. And then when we go to 26th, 30th, and 3rd of January, and then 6th of January, that's in 14 days, 4 games. I see Calafiori being benched in some of them. So I have to go Saliba or Raya. I don't want to sell Donnarumma because he's my nailed way to the City defense. And
Mm,
that's a differential for me because I get the City clean sheet while people don't. So I have to
yeah.
get Saliba. And I don't know if
What
it's,
if you like
yeah.
what if you just let go of double Arsenal defense? Like, what if you consider like double Man City defense with somebody like O'Reilly in like the good fixtures,
Yeah,
maybe?
but I cannot be certain that O'Reilly is going to play because yeah, he played 90 against Liverpool, 90 against Bournemouth, but then he got benched against Aston Villa. And now with eight Nuri
And
in the
they no,
team,
he's
yeah,
back.
I cannot consider him.
No.
Like it's pretty tough to. If I go for double defense, it's going to be Saliba. Do I want to get Saliba and Gabriel in my team? Probably not. I would still prefer to back up double Arsenal attack with Rice and Saka compared to risky Calafiori with Gabriel. So that's the if I had
I
the
feel
option
you.
to get Timber, yes, but I don't have the option to get Timber, so I'm probably aiming to get double Arsenal attack.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got you. Okay, all right. I was
Yeah,
just curious to hear like how you were thinking about that,
yeah. I
because
was
like you
thinking
already
for
have
the
so
whole
much
year. Yeah,
risk, you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
When I was with Raya, I was content, but when Donnarumma got into FPL, I was like, I want Donnarumma in. Like I'm a really big fan of him, and that's the safest way to that City defense.
right, and let me ask you like let me try to think if there's anything I didn't mention. Like we touched on Arsenal defense, we've touched on Holland, um, we kind of touched on Salah, but like let's say you had a wild card this week, right?
Yes,
Would you be going for a Salah plus Holland structure, or would you be going for an only Holland structure?
Haaland and Saka, no Salah. Salah is, yeah,
Damn.
without Salah for sure. The only asset I like from Liverpool without me joking, it's Szoboszlai and
Uh,
Gravenberg. Maybe.
uh,
It's
That's
not
crazy,
Salah.
bruh.
It's not Salah, sadly. And if I'm on a wild card in 5 weeks, I have to restructure my team again. But still, I would
Yeah,
prefer
basically.
only. I would prefer Saka and Haaland.
Damn. All right. And then if you had to pick like one Man City defender as a differential, would you prefer Matthias Nunez or O'Reilly?
Probably Nunes because he has no contention for that spot. Apart from Riku Willis, I guess. But it. Let me
Hmm.
check. Nunes was he
I'm
playing?
asking you fringe. I'm honestly asking you fringe questions. Like these are like difficult ones, you know?
Yeah, Matthias has been playing 90 minutes for the last 6 weeks. Gvardio is probably someone that I might consider. but not for my team, of course, for everyone else's. But yeah, Mateus is just more nailed in my eyes, if I have to be honest.
Nice. And then one of my last decisions is actually it's a decision for like 2 weeks time, but it's like McAllister or Minte. And I think the answer is Minte, but I don't want it to be.
I prefer Gravenberg over McAllister, to be fair.
Yeah, makes
Like,
sense.
I
I think McAllister just scored his first goal. Like he's getting more minutes in the team, but I think the minutes will be rotated over this period. So Minte is just a lock.
yeah, but
Ugh,
Gravenberg is
it's
not
so
going to be
sad.
rotated. So, in my opinion, Gravenberg is playing.
Mhm.
He just
Yeah.
misses
I, don't-
time when he's injured.
yeah, you know what? I might consider him because if I go to him, then I can spend more money in my defense. So let's see, let's see. You know what? I'll
Yeah,
figure it out later on. Like
yeah,
for now, the plan is just get Saka in not this week, the week after, and then
yeah,
wait and see on Foden and see how it goes with Virgil.
yeah, yeah. Fair play.
I think we've covered everything. Like I
Yeah,
don't think there is anything we've missed.
I don't think as
But
well.
yeah,
We spoke a lot.
bro,
It's two
MV,
hours and
I
15
think
minutes.
last time we connected, I think I'm trying to figure out where my rank was because we connected last time game week 8, right?
Let me check.
Maybe
I
game
will
week
tell you
7.
where your rank is. After game week 7, it was 600k.
600K. So since then, I've used my wildcard, I used my
No,
wildcard and
only
bench
free
boost
hit.
before that.
Only free hit you've used.
Yeah. So I used my only other chip left, and I'm already up 300K places. So like I'm basically from 600K to like 300K-ish, basically.
Yeah,
So maybe next time, I'm honestly, bro, my mentality is to maintain rank. I have no, like, I don't want to say I have no I don't wanna say I have no, like, motivation, but I say I have no, I don't know if I will be able to gain rank. If I ever take a hit, it could be in a week where other people are using chips. It's gonna be completely detrimental. I have to avoid hits at all costs in the next few weeks, and then everyone's gonna have a chip ahead of me. Like, you'll have your triple captain, other people are gonna have their free hit in 13 or 16, like, I'm going to lose a lot of rank in the next few weeks. So if I come back on the pod and I'm on the same rank as where I am now, it was a good last few weeks.
yeah. It's if you're in the top 1 million around game week 19, you're sorted. Like it's a nice push with the other chips, and yeah, for me, your rank is perfectly solid. I think with Saka captains you can gain a lot. But if you keep around the top 300k the next 7 or 8 weeks, it's completely fine. For me, there is nothing to be worried about having gray arrows here and there, like green, red, green, red, green, red. As you mentioned, a lot of people have their chips, so that rank is deceiving. Like people may not have used wildcard yet. People will be wildcarding in 12, like right now, to get off to some
Yeah,
players. So they will be free hitting or bench boosting soon enough. Especially many people would be on strategy game week 12 wildcard, game week 13 bench boost. I think that's a pretty popular strategy. Game week 13 is going to be very tricky for you because a lot of people would use chips, bench boost, and free hit, in my opinion. So that's where you would be probably losing a bit of rank. But if you survive from game week 13, I think onwards it's equal game to everyone. I think that it's only players like me left with triple captaincy for game week 16. Like everyone would have triple captain Haaland already or would do it in leads at home. So
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah. And
think
like even in those weeks, the EO is not going to be that high. I think it'll be like maybe like 210,
yeah,
215. Like
exactly.
it's not going to be that
Exactly.
high anyways.
I think if you survive
Yeah,
13 without a massive drop, from then onwards, I think it's equal fuel to everyone. So I think that from
100%,
then
bro.
onwards, you can push again. Survive 12 and 13 with the chip season, and then it's you. Oh, you.
Yeah, the biggest game will probably be when Arsenal play Chelsea.
Yes, yes,
Because if Raya ends up with a clean sheet, he's probably already made 3 saves. He's going to end up with bonus, and he's going to be mad. No one that free hit is going to own Raya. I don't even know if
yes.
they'll own Gabriel.
They will.
They
They
might just
will.
go. They might go against. Who knows?
Yeah, but no one will own Raya. So for sure, no one will own Raya. So you'll be hoping for a
Yeah.
clean sheet for Arsenal then. And with
Yeah,
Saka in the
basically.
team, you'll be hoping for for an Arsenal win, basically.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
exactly. That's me every week, bro.
yeah,
I'm like a team Arsenal every week.
yeah,
Saka and double defense the whole season, bro. That's how it's gonna be.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I think we've covered everything, bro.
yeah. We
I'm
did.
excited to see what Foden does for you, because like he'll be my number one like threat or regret, I would say.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It wasn't pretty in the time I owned him already this season. He was blanking left, right, and center, but yeah, I don't see a better option in that run. And I just don't see for that price point or outside of that price point anyone that's better than him. It's only him or Cherky for me, so I would risk it with Foden once again. I have Cunha, Palmer is not yet back, so and their fixture run is awful. So yeah, for now I think Foden is enough. FPL Hippie is asking before we go to rate his squad: Donnarumma, Sanchez, Gabriel, Virgil, Cucurella, Munoz, Richards, Semenyo, Saka, Rice, Anderson, Xhaka, Thiago, Mateta, Haaland. That feels like a limitless team, that unlimited budget, man. Like, how the hell he has Gabriel, Virgil, and Cucurella and Munoz in a team? Then he has Saka, Semenyo in the team, and then he has Haaland and Mateta. Like, fair play, FPO Hippie. I've read that he has been taking some hits, but the team is well structured. I would say I would sell Sanchez. I wouldn't keep a 5 million keeper on the bench week in and week out. And the rest, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I would want to get like Anderson or Shaka up to, or even Mateta down. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but like, I would want to get to Bruno and Mbumo in the midfield, at least one of them
Yeah, yeah,
in that midfield.
yeah, I agree. But the team is solid. An 8 out of 10, I would say. Room for
Yeah,
improvement,
and then
but it's pretty solid.
yeah, there was like someone else that replied in the chat that said they're like 3K overall,
Yeah, I
which
mean
is
this, yes.
crazy,
Yeah.
by the way. 3K overall. I don't think I've ever been 3K in FPL ever.
Yeah, I mean this year is doing very, very well. We met last year in UCL Fantasy and he stayed for FPL as well and he's crushing it. I mean he has been killing it and he has been getting nice green arrows over and over again, so fair play to him.
Good for him, good for him. I wish I knew like how he got them, but it seems like Holland and Thiago have been great picks for him. Yeah,
Yeah,
Thiago's been amazing, by the
yeah.
way.
I
So
can't
hopefully when
find
I bring him in, his points don't stop, you know?
hopefully, yeah. Let me check something. No, it does. It's not this. I can see where he pushed very well because he would, yeah, game week 6 for him with a triple captaincy is massive. He's 68k in the world then. He has Haaland triple
Wow.
captain. He has Thiago with 13 points. So yeah, it's literally Thiago and Haaland for him that's pushing his rank. And the
Wait, so
other,
how is he 68K in the first 5 weeks? Like, did he start with
no,
Holland
no,
instead of Salah?
he was so in the first week he was 1.4k with a bench boost. His bench boost was massive. I don't know if you're seeing my screen, but he had Bizot from Aston Villa, Fulkrug, Reynudo, and Rodon. Like, who the hell owns these players in the game? And he had Haaland, Captain, Salah, Reinders, Sar, Van den Ven, Sanchez. Like, he had it sorted out from the first week.
Wow.
Then game week,
He went Salah Holland to start the season.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so that really paid off to start the year because Salah was delivering and so was Holland.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then his ranks weren't that amazing, like 6 million in the world that week, then 2 million in the world that next week, then 3.5. If we take a look at his game week history, like he was 1k the first week, then 38 in the second. He went down to 50k in game week 4, but then game week 6 he went back to 5k, and he has been up and down, but yeah, he hasn't left the top 30k since. So it's been a very
Wow.
nice season for him. He just gets the Thiago and Haaland returns.
Yeah, it's what I always find is like a running theme of teams that do well is like this happens every year. When people have Salah and Holland, to start the season, they usually start well. The issue is like finding the right differentials to enable it.
Yeah.
So like, I think by going for like the Sunderland defender and the Leeds defender or whoever he went for, Reinders at the time, like those were the differentials that helped deliver a
Last year
good
that
start to the
happened to
season.
me. I started with Salah and Haaland, and in third week I was 10k in the world. Like it literally happened to me
Crazy.
the same, because if you start with Salah and I think that's the right formula, starting with Salah and Haaland and just seeing who plays better and getting rid of the other one. Like if they keep playing both, you already have them. But last year it was Salah who was crushing it. This year it's Haaland. You just say, okay, this guy is underperforming, get rid of him, and that's it. I think that's a nice
Yeah.
strategy. Sadly, I think it will never be used again, because I don't see Salah staying at Liverpool for too too long, and I don't know if next year he will be
Mhm.
that interesting to own. But I would say, yeah, last 2 years starting with Salah and Haaland was the right formula, because you've got them while no one else has. Not no one, but most of the people don't, and you have the facilities to go to whoever the hell you want. Like literally, you can buy everyone when you sell him, when you sell one of them. So yeah, that was the play.
Facts. Facts. And so we had somebody in the chat. This was a Barca fan who said, "Would you buy Saka right now?"
Yes, I would. Yeah,
Same.
yeah.
That's my dilemma, really. Is
But
he
not
worth the
this.
-4?
If for a hit, no. If you have a free transfer and you don't know where to use it, I would. I would probably, if
Yeah.
I had 1 or 2 free transfers, I wouldn't do it. But if you have 4, I would do it. Like get Saka, get ready for the nice run before
Yeah.
everyone else, and just fix that minor issue in your
Yeah.
team.
Each week you don't have, sorry to say this, MV, but like each week you don't have Saka, Bruno, and Holland. I think you're just gonna be suboptimal long term. Like those three are just the best picks long term. I don't know how it's gonna be wrong, honestly.
It might be wrong if they stop scoring, like if Bruno stops scoring here and there. But last week he got an auto assist in the 93rd minute, because he plays 90 minutes and he's on every goddamn set piece. And when they score, he gets an
Yeah.
assist. Like there were 2 picks that I was very sad not to be able to own this year. One of them was Bruno, and the other was Virgil. Those 2 picks at game week 1 were the picks that I regretted the most not being able to get. And to be fair, Virgil haven't scored in the Prem yet, while in Champions League he has 2 goals. So I think that when he starts scoring, he will get better and better. But yeah, Virgil
Yeah.
and Bruno are my 2 favorite options.
It's funny because like Virgil and Bruno are like, yeah, those are one of my favorites. Both are my favorite picks this year too. Because Bruno has so many routes to points. I know people hate when people say routes to points, but it's true. And then Virgil is exactly the same. I'm just waiting for Liverpool to turn it around.
Yeah,
Those are two of my favorite picks.
and both of them haven't got over 50 points yet this year. And when you go to a regular viewer and say to him, but they're the most there for value, and you check the scores and you don't see them anywhere in the top, like it's guys like Cullen, Gravenberg, Caicedo, Keane, Van den Ven that are getting more points than them. And how do you explain to them that we think that they're good? You can't. You just
Yeah,
can't. You just,
exactly. So I think you have to put it like this, like over 38 weeks, I think Bruno and Virgil will be in the top 5 in their position.
yeah.
But let's see how it goes. Maybe Van Dijk has lost it. We'll see.
I don't
But I'm
think he
gonna own him
does.
for the next like 7, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Ricky. Yeah, you are late, man. We're just finishing it up. You can go back and watch the 2 hour and 30 minutes of discussion that we had. Yeah.
Do you have any ideas on like, so your chip strategy is just TC left? Do you have anything
Yeah.
else left?
Yeah. No, no, it's done.
Damn, man. Damn. I don't have any chips myself. But yeah, I really hope I'll be cheering on your TC because I'm gonna captain Saka with
Yeah.
you. I told you whenever you TC, I'm gonna make sure I own Saka. So I'm just
Okay.
glad you didn't TC the other week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I actually owned Saka that week when he played like I think it was Sunderland or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
I I I owned him on free hit, but I didn't own him for Burnley. I couldn't believe Saka blanked that week.
Yep. I got him captain that week and he blanked. but it's life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice variance.
That's crazy, bro. Like, yo, the danger. Yo, game week 16, we'll be there. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be there for the 6 points triple captain.
I mean, 6 times 3, maybe. Bro, there's a chance like Arsenal win this game 4 or 5-0.
And he gets
Genuinely.
nothing.
It'll be like Salah against when Liverpool won 9-0 for
Yeah,
Bournemouth.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
No, don't worry, don't worry. They'll win that game like 3 or 4-0 easily. And I think he'll get at least one. And he'll get
Yeah,
the clean sheet point, and he'll probably end up with some bonus too.
hopefully.
So
Yeah. Thanks so much, man. It was a pleasure. We'll keep in touch. There isn't an international break anytime soon, but we'll find some slots here and there to film one more pod. Maybe when there isn't we'll find a way. We'll find a way, because when there isn't UCL, there is going to be Prem. But when there is Prem, we are not going to talk about the week, so we'll find a spot. And maybe a Saturday here and there we may schedule something. We'll find a way. Thanks so much
yeah, yeah.
for coming on. It was a pleasure, man. I always enjoy
Thanks
talking to
for
you.
having me. Yeah, same. I love speaking with you as well, MV. Because it's like Liverpool fan vibes. We're both biased in our own ways,
Yeah,
but I think like it's always nice to hear somebody that you care about, to hear like how their journey is, and like
yeah,
I'm honestly a little sad like ending the stream because like I know without Holland it's gonna be very hard for you. Like
yeah.
I know,
But
but I just hope it works out. Like honestly.
yeah, this year I'm rooting first for Amin to win because he's in 3K. But you can be my second favorite to win the
So,
thing.
bro, I'm not gonna win, fam. I used my free hit last week and I had the feeling of, yo, I'm trying to win. And when Salah had the assist chalked off for that garbage from Van Dijk being off, or
Yeah,
Robertson being offside, I was like, what? And then when Enzo blanked with like 1.0 XGI, I'm like, all right, I'm not winning FPL, but I tried. Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah. We can always try. But yeah, I'm rooting for
exactly. Yo,
Amin
thanks for
this
having
year.
me on,
Yeah,
MV.
yeah,
Thanks for having me on, and shout out to Amin as well. Good luck for
yeah.
the rest of your season. Hopefully, like when we have our next stream, you'll be here too, and we can chat about how your season's gone.
Yep, yep. Thanks so much, Kanji. You can guys go and
Thank you.
follow Kanji on every social. There is a link down in the description. He posts regularly and he joins other people's discussions and their people's podcasts, so you can listen to him regularly as well. And don't forget to have fun while playing FPL, because at the end of the day, it's just a game that we love and hate playing. Thank you, Kanji.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you. Congrats on the 5K
Oh,
subscribers, by
thank
the
you.
way.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
you'll get to like 100K sometime soon.
Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. We'll be there. We'll be there.